Hello! I forgot my mic was still muted, so I had to say hello twice. Um, I see Decaden in the chat. Welcome, buddy. How are you? How was Space's stream? I don't know if Space is still streaming, or not, but I was there for a little bit. I was having a little bit of a depresso day, and so I was having a hard time getting out of bed. Then I finally got out of bed, and then I ate some spaghetti, and then I was like, I want to stream. I want to do the thing. Go do the thing. So, I'm now doing the thing. uh, so the chair that I sit in, right? Um, it's not a typical chair. It's like a circle, right? It has like this little base, and then it has this big circle base that sits on top of that base, and then you have a cushion inside of that circle, and that is the chair, right? It has a name. I don't know the name. This was a gift from my aunt she originally owned it, but then she moved houses and she didn't want it anymore. And whenever I visited her house, I really liked that chair. I would sit in that chair for hours because it's a cool little circular chair. And so when my aunt was moving, she was like, "Hey, do you want this chair?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I want this chair." I mean, I was also 7, so I didn't say that exactly, but um little child Nunya did not swear. Uh but so I got the chair. And, it's kind of old. It's like a little bit of an old chair. I don't know how old it is. It's made out of bamboo, so it's pretty sturdy. Um, it's just that the cushion part of it isn't that soft anymore. So what I ended up doing is that I took the cushion part off, and then I had a fuzzy blanket, and then I put the fuzzy blanket under, like, around the circular chair base. I just put that on there first, um, and like folded it up a little bit because I only really need it for my butt, so like I only kind of covered half of the circle base with this blanket, and then I put the cushion back on, and then I have another blanket that I'm sitting on top of, and then I have another blanket that I lay across my lap. So let's just say I am extremely comfy. Everyone's sitting there, those in their freaking gamer chairs, and I'm sitting here in this little circular one that I could crisscross my legs on top of. Um, I do have to put some supports in the back, otherwise I would just be leaning really back in the chair, and that's probably not good for my posture. So I do have some pillows stocked up behind me to help with my posture, so I kind of sit up a little bit more. But yeah, I just realized that like I never told you about like what my chair is, and it's a very unique chair. I mean, it's not that unique, but it's not the typical chair people think of whenever they're like imagining someone streaming. They're always thinking about those like gamer chairs. So I figured I would share what my chair looks like. I think you've seen a little bit of it because whenever I did my face cam, so you were able to see it a little bit. Um, mm. But let's talk about what we're doing. So I wanted to start off by playing some Pokemon. Also, this is not going to be a very long stream. I have work in the morning, like 10 a.m., and so I can't stay up all night. So I'll probably only go for maybe like 3 or 4 hours just to make sure I have enough time to kind of wind down for bed, or stay up and write fan fiction all day, whichever happens first. Um, but so just letting you know, last time I streamed for 9 hours. That is not happening today. If I wanted to stream for 9 hours, I needed to get up way earlier than this. It's already 6:30, so a 9 hour stream is not happening today. Um, but so what we're gonna do is that we're gonna play some Pokemon Scarlet. At first I was going back to the coloring book. I thought maybe we could color and listen to some music. And then I was thinking about it, like going through kind of reorganizing some of my scenes in OBS, and then I remembered that I have Pokemon Scarlet, and that's not as much brain power. It's not that much brain power, so I figured, all right, actually, I'll play some Scarlet and Violet, make some progress on that. I also thought about doing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, but to play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, I'll actually have to manually switch out my gamer card because I have the physical copies of those two games, so I can only one of them can be in there at one time, and I just didn't feel like switching it out. And Mystery Dungeon does take a little bit more thought power. Um, and so I didn't feel like it. We'll get back to Pokemon Mystery Dungeon at some point because there's still some side quests and plot things that could still happen in that game. I don't believe I've 100% completed that game yet, so I do want to get back to it at some point. But for now, I was just feeling some Pokemon Mystery, not Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Pokemon Scarlet is what I was feeling. I can't believe like I literally defeated that last gym leader by not even thinking about it. I was just singing a improv song for 5 minutes, and then when I was done, I had beaten the boss. Like that is how much that hard that battle was. I was just not even thinking about it. I was thinking about something else, and I still won that battle. uh, um, I'm trying to think. How's my voice? I think I'm good. I'm not peaking. I get to the yellow sometimes, but I don't think it's. I think it's still good. I haven't messed with my sound settings in forever, so nothing should be wrong on that front. if Space is still streaming, my phone's all the way over there. I don't want to go look at it. Space might raid me again, which might be fun. It's always funny when I get raided because it becomes a jump scare. Um, but I really like it. I really liked when I get raided because I just think it brings me a lot of joy. It scares the shit out of me, but then I'm really happy about it. It scares me because I'm like, "Oh god, that's loud." And then I'm like, "Oh my gosh, people are here." And then I feel better. So, and I think getting jump scared is one of the funny things about it, which is why I haven't fixed it. Like I have the complete power to go in and fix it so it's not so loud. But where's the fun in that? It's not a raid if you don't give me a heart attack, alright? That's the rule. That has been the rule since the first raid happened, which was completely unintentional, but now I am committing to that bit. I'm committing to it. That is just how it's gonna be for as long as I still think it's funny. Um, but okay, so we're gonna play some Pokemon, right? We're gonna play some Pokemon for a little bit, and then at some point when I feel like it, and probably when I see that Space is around, I mentioned in Space's stream that I had been working on a story while I was locked in my bed. Um, and here I can switch over to the game while I continue talking about this. um, so I could probably lower my volume real quick. There we go. It was just the game audio was a little loud in my ear. All right. So at some point when Space is available, um, I was writing a story. I was writing my own personal fan fiction. So like Space doesn't write this with me. It's called Erase Me, which is named after a song from Logan's official playlist. So Thomas made a 20 song playlist of songs that kind of help describe the personality or attributes of the characters. So like Patton has a playlist, Roman has a playlist, etc., etc. And Logan's playlist has to be one of the saddest playlists that he has made. Because there's some songs like um White and Nerdy, right? Where it's just like that like parody song about a person being extremely nerdy. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. Logan's a nerd. And like it's just a fun little song. And then you get songs that are just kind of about like, hey, please notice me. And like, I want to be helpful. I want to help you. Please stop ignoring me. Like, there's like multiple songs. You. There's just multiple songs of just, could you like, please acknowledge me? And I'm just like, Logan, my baby! My little child! Um, and so I just feel all sorts of bad, you know? I'm just like, Logan, because like Logan's one of my favorite characters. I already like Logan. For some reason, I really like the oh, that side dot just fell off the bridge. It's okay. He's fine. Um, I hear you, motherfucker. Where are you? Where are you? You're somewhere on this bridge. I just know it. Where are you? Where the fuck are you? I can hear you. Where are you? You're always hiding on something. Where you hiding? Are you on the? Are you on the fence? No. Where are you? I'm not going crazy. I can hear him. Ah, I fell. Do not, do not, do not. Where am I? Where am I? Oh, I fell. Okay, okay. Wait, wait, I see you. I see you, motherfucker. You're under the bridge. You're under the bridge, you motherfucker. Get over here. Okay, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Logan is my favorite character. Um, Logan's my favorite character. I seem to be really drawn to the really intelligent characters. I don't know why. Like when like for Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Donnie is my favorite. I just love the little nerds, um, and such. So, um, a grass fish. Okay. Yep. This challenge is wrong. So, Logan's my favorite character, right? And one of the songs in his playlist that is called "Erase Me," um, and oh, let me grab my phone. Let me grab my phone so I can like tell you. I'm not gonna play the song because I don't want to deal with that copyright bullshit right now. Um, but let me grab my phone and then I can look up the lyrics. And then hopefully by me, at least me saying the lyrics, you can understand what I'm talking about this song and what it means for Logan. What am I looking for? Playlist, Logan. Okay, I found it. I am actually seeing the irony of this Pokemon. Of this Pokemon having the Terra type grass, given that grass is going to be its only weakness. So I think that's really funny. I'm gonna catch it for that reason. You don't need a special ball though. You can just go to the Pokeball. But I thought it really funny. That's very ironic. So okay, I'm looking through the lyrics because I'm not gonna sing the whole thing either. Mostly because this is not one of those songs that I would be able to sing well. So I'm not gonna even attempt to do that. But let's see. Okay. Yeah, look at the Whiskers Pokemon. This is called the Whiskers Pokemon. That is really funny, actually. I'm gonna name you. I'm gonna name you Mud. Your name is now Mud. Not even capitalized. Center your boxes. Get out of here. I've actually never used a Wish-A-Cash before. But okay, so, alright. So, Erase Me by Ben Folds 5, if you want to look up the song yourself. So, the first lines are, what was our home, paper not stone, a lean to a most, and when you pull your half away, gravity won like it always does. Did I weigh a ton? Would it be easier to just delete our pages and the plans we made? So here's the thing about Logan, right? And you're about to get a Logan essay right now. You're about to get a Logan essay. So Logan And we're talking about canon Logan, right? Not Origins Logan, not even this fan fiction's Logan. We're talking about canon Logan. Um, Logan is Thomas's logical, professional, rational um, side, right? He also kind of holds all the knowledge Thomas has ever learned, all of his memories. He's essentially very much the brain of the operation here. That's why his little emblem symbol is a brain. That's what he represents. He's very much the brain of the situation. And he comes up with schedules and plans to help Thomas fulfill a fulfilling and healthy life. And so he makes the plans. And in this song, it says, "Would it be easier to just delete our pages and plans we've made?" Logan is constantly ignored and shut down by the other sides. Um, Thomas is a very emotional person, and his sides are very emotional. So, and Logan is very much the opposite of that. He doesn't understand he doesn't understand emotions. He doesn't understand metaphors. He takes things very literally. Um, and so, and the others are extremely emotional, right? We have Patton, who's literally the embodiment of emotions for Thomas. He's his heart. So Patton and Logan are constantly at odds. Virgil is anxiety, so he's kind of like pent up, anxious, illogical thinking and hyperfixations in the wrong direction. And so Logan and Virgil can butt heads at times. But no one butts heads with Logan the most than Roman, who is Thomas's creativity and his passion and his hopes and dreams. And sometimes those hopes and dreams aren't very logical or things that can actually happen. They have an entire episode uh, where the two kind of fight it out. I fight in quotation marks. There's never actually any physical violence, but they have like an entire argument for an entire episode about what is best for Thomas and such. And so I can't remember what the title of that episode was. I think it's like passion versus reasoning or something. I can't remember off the top of my head. But they have a whole episode talking about it. And so Logan makes all of these plans, and the other sides constantly don't follow them. He tries his best to like come up with a plan, come up with a schedule. He's like, "Hey Thomas, you gotta clean your house. It's a mess." And Thomas doesn't listen to him. And I think that is what probably hurts the most, is that Thomas doesn't listen to him. There was one episode where they do finally listen to Logan, and that is the episode where Remus is introduced in Intrusive Thoughts. Remus shows up, knocks Roman out, which is actually the first point of violence against the sides, is that Roman literally does get physically knocked out. Um, but so Patton and Virgil and Thomas are kind of all losing their goddamn minds because Remus is here and they don't understand Remus and whatnot. And Logan is the only one that can actually bring logic and reassurances to the situation to prove that Thomas was not crazy or a bad person or yada yada yada. And it's actually one of the first times that Thomas, I could probably still keep walking while I do this. Which is probably one of the first times that Thomas actually says that, like, "Logan, you're really cool." And it's probably one of Logan's most happiest moments. Like, the man almost smiles. He hasn't smiled in years, and he finally almost smiles. um, he's like, finally, he's finally got, like, some acknowledgement. Um, for helping deal with Remus and such. But then, of course, it immediately goes back to Thomas not um, listening to Logan. It immediately goes back to whee! Look at me! I'm just sliding down the mountain. That's actually kind of fun. Um, it's a little fun when you do it on purpose. But okay, I probably need to go that. Oh, there's a fire one over here. So yeah. Logan very much gets ignored. People don't listen to him. And Avalanche. Ooh. What we got? Ooh, this was a hard one. Shit! I mean, I'll try it, but this was not the Pokemon I meant to send out. I meant to switch Pokemon. But okay. So, what else? What about, okay. So the next line after, uh, delete our pages and the plans we've made. The, I don't know, man. It's fire type. I guess this is still stab. So I guess I'll just use this and see what happens. Okay, we're not doing too badly. The next line after that is erase me so you don't have to face me. Put me in the ground and mow the daisies. Ah, the memory. See how it goes when you erase me. So this is very much a type of like frustration of like, all right, you're not gonna listen to me, then might as well just erase me. You know, just get rid of me then, if you're not gonna listen to me. Erase me so you don't have to face me. Just like take me out of here so you don't even have to see me anymore. Which is something that he literally did in the series. There's an episode. That happens. It's called Selfishness versus Selflessness Redux. And I'm gonna catch you because you're pretty. Let's put you in a heal ball. I think that's cute. You could go in this ball. So there's an episode in the series where Patton and Roman are kind of trying to so this one actually takes a lot of explaining to do. This one actually takes a lot of a little bit of more backstory to understand. The Serene Pokemon. Yeah, let's name you. I'm gonna name you Pyro. Pyro. Go into the box. Nice. Okay. I'm sorry. I can't focus on what I'm trying to talk about while I'm playing this. It's a little too distracting. So, you know what that means. Back on the couch. All right, we're back on the couch. So, a little context of what I was just talking about is that there's an episode called Selfishness versus Selflessness. And in that episode, Thomas gets a callback, like fictional Thomas, character Thomas, gets a callback for like a movie production or whatever. And he's like all excited about it. He's like, I got a call back. But it turns out that the date of that callback is the same day of his friend's marriage that he said that he would be there for. So Patton has a problem with abandoning his friends to go to this callback because he deems that to be a selfish act and that he promised his friends that he would be at their wedding, and so thus he has to go to his wedding. And then Janice, Thomas's deceit, his selfishness, comes in to try to prove to them that Thomas wants to go to the callback. He doesn't want to go to the wedding. He wants to go to the callback. And so they have this whole episode where they talk about this. Also, poor Logan gets benched for that entire episode. Like quite literally. They do this entire courtroom scene where like Roman is the judge, um Patton is the defendant, and Janice is the prosecute, and Virgil's on jury duty. And then there's just Logan who gets thrown in the back like like an audience member. He gets like thrown in the back like an audience member. You know how like people like just coming into the courtroom to kind of watch it. That's what Logan got. One of the most logical people in that situation, and he gets booted to the literal back of the courtroom. Um, but yeah, so they do their little courtroom scene, and they come to the conclusion that yes, Thomas doesn't want to go to the wedding. He wants to go to the callback. But even though that's what Thomas wants, that is not what he ends up doing. Patton still ends up winning that a case essentially. Roman sends Thomas to go to the wedding. He's like, "All right, that's it. You're going to the wedding. You're not going to the callback," which was a huge blow for Roman because Roman also really wanted to go to the callback. Like Roman's whole thing is about helping Thomas complete his get his dreams, and Thomas wants to be an actor. So this callback was really huge for him. Like this was almost a really big win for Roman, and he gave it up to go to the wedding because Patton, who is Thomas's morality, stated that the wedding was more important than going to the callback. So, and so Thomas ends up going to the wedding, and this is when we get the Redux episode. So like this is a separate episode. They go to it's the like aftermath of that decision of Thomas goes to the wedding, um, and he's not happy about it. It wasn't fulfilling. He is still upset about it, and so Patton and Roman are trying to figure out why. Patton is trying to assure Thomas that he did the right thing by going to the wedding and all that stuff, and is still kind of trying to pressure Thomas into doing the most selfless thing to do. And Logan in that episode, Virgil doesn't show up at all in that episode. Logan shows up as like that episode was very video game based, so Logan presented himself as like a little character, like a little pop-up text block in the episodes. And so he would give information in text boxes that he thought would be helpful for the situation while the others are talking. Um and it's really cute and it's really well animated. It's very adorable. But literally erase me so you don't have to face me. Because you want to know how that ends up for Logan? Well, for one thing, the others just completely ignore him. He's giving all these points um about the situation and no one is listening. I mean, he's not voicing everything. He doesn't talk a lot, like it's just a text box, right? But no one is looking at him, right? They're just kind of brushing past Logan. It's like he's not even there. And then when they finally ask Logan for his opinion, Patton tries to ask Logan for his opinion about because he's hoping that Logan would be on his side, and when Logan was not on his side, um Patton had literally pressed the skip button on Logan. And so like a little hook came in and he dragged Logan out of the scene. Logan had literally been physically removed from the scene because Patton had skipped him. And then the next time we see Logan, he's actually been replaced by Janice, and so Janice reveals himself and they have a big old fight. But that's what happened to Logan. Logan had erased himself so they wouldn't have to face him. He was trying to not be intrusive, but still give his points. That was his goal when he did that. He said that hopefully this form would be less intrusive to the situation. So like he's trying so hard to just be noticed and to give his what he believes is his valid input on the situation. And the others are just not listening to him. They're just not listening to him. So I think maybe that's what that line kind of talks about. Um, and so the song continues with, "So what would you do with no me for you? I know what we said. What if I left a thing or two? We know that you don't seem to think about what you need till you reach to find that you've erased me." So, um, so let me think about this, because this is actually the first time I've actually breaking down this song lyric by lyric. So I'm kind of just making this up all as I go. Uh, Usually when I do this in text format and send it to Space, and that's when Space gets a freaking essay from me. Now you get a verbal essay from me. I should have a counter in like the corner that just says, uh, how long since the last Sanders Sides talk? 0 days. I can't stop talking about my hyperfixations. So, um, okay. So what you would uh do with no me for you? I think because like we said, might want to turn down the alert. Oh, all right. I think what's actually funny though is that I turned it down in the OBS, but that doesn't actually change how it sounds in my ear. I think what I need to do is turn down my headphones. Um, hold on, I gotta plug in my computer. What I need to do is actually turn down my headphones, not the sound alert. Okay. Also, Space, don't worry about it. The I was just talking about how like the jump scare of the raid is part of the fun. It's not a raid if you don't give me a heart attack. But yeah. So going back to this, um, there is a there is a part in the series where uh, when early on in like season 1, are we in season 2? I like to believe that we're at season 2. There's no official start or end of a season, except for this time where Thomas says that we're having a season finale. But anyway, early on in the series, um, Thomas, Virgil was not feel there it is. There we go. There it is. Glorious. No, I won't give in. I won't give in till I'm victorious. And I will defend. I will defend. And I'll do what I must. No, I won't give in. I won't give in. Oh, so glorious. Out of curiosity, is the sound alert too loud that you can't hear me over it? Because if that's the case, then I need to lower it some because I still want you to be able to hear me over it. Um, because I was looking at the two audio levels of my voice and the sound alerts, and so I can't decide. Yeah, I can turn down the individual. No, I know how to turn it. I know how to turn it down. I just need to know, do I need to turn it down? Space, you literally missed the conversation that I talked about where I said that the sound alert being so loud that it gives me a heart attack is one of the funny things about me getting rated. I just want to make sure though that you can actually still um you're laughing at that part. Oh. um I just want to know if you were able to actually still hear me talk while the sound alert was going on. Because if you couldn't hear me talk over it, then I'll lower it some more. Um Otherwise I'm probably going to leave it. The But so let me know if you were actually able to hear me say anything while that sound alert was going off. Otherwise I'm gonna keep talking about Logan. So so earlier in the series, um Virgil was not feeling appreciated by the others, and so he decided that maybe it was time for him to just leave. And so he does a thing that they call ducking out. And so Thomas couldn't feel Virgil's presence at all. Um he couldn't feel his at all. It's a whole two-part episode to learning how to accept anxiety, right? That's actually the title of it. It's accepting anxiety. Um and so we have seen that the sides can choose to not do their job. Though we've also been told that Logan doesn't work that way. Logan states in an episode called Moving Out, not Moving Out, Moving On, part two, that Logan is not just a feeling that they can get rid of. Even if he's not there, he'll always be present. You can't just get rid of Logan. But I think what this song is talking about, which could be different than just the idea of like there being no logic in Thomas whatsoever, which I think is something that Logan would never even think about doing. Um, Lo- Logan would never put Thomas in jeopardy like that by just like completely knocking himself out or whatever. Um, but I think the idea of so what will you do with no me for you is that I think what we might end up and seeing is uh Logan not joining in the discussions. I think that like there's going to be some type of discussion or dilemma that Thomas is going um like having, and I think that they might try to call or summon Logan, and he's going to refuse to show up. Because Logan doesn't have to show up to do his job. He's not a feeling, he doesn't have to be there. He just like Thomas is not going to die without Logan's presence. It's just helpful to have Logan there to help kind of calm all the emotional children. But if he's seeing that everyone is constantly ignoring him, he might just decide to stop showing up to discussions. And then maybe we can actually. I'm hoping we'll be able to see what Logan's room looks like. I think that'll be very fun. I really want to see what Logan's room looks like. Um, and so maybe they have to go to Logan's room to like figure out like, yo, buddy, what's going on? And then they'll do their heart to heart, whatever. And we'll also find out who Orange is. So that's what I'm hoping for. But um, that's kind of what I think is might happen. I don't know. Thomas is very creative and his friends are very creative and they take the series in places that I never thought of. Like before Remus was introduced and like everyone was like well aware about what the color theory was. Everyone thought that green, the color green was going to be greed or something like that, green or envy or something. And so we were all surprised when it turned out to be intrusive thoughts. Like they think of some crazy shit that the fandom doesn't think of. So, I trust their judgment and their creative process, and I'm very excited to see what they come up with. But so I think so this song Erase Me, which is again part of Logan's canon playlist created by Thomas Sander himself, who also stated um that the order of these songs also kind of tells a story or an arc. Um I think it's very important. I think this song is very important to Logan and what is going to happen to him and how he feels. So, and I think Logan might be concerned about what would happen to Thomas if Logan was no longer there. Um, just like because the idea of Thomas living with no logic is probably an idea that scares Logan. So um so I don't think he would go Virgil's route of like I'm just going to stop doing my job. I don't think Logan is that petty. Um Logan is well aware of how important he is. I don't think Logan believes that he's not important. I think he's just frustrated that no one else seems to think that he's important. So he's constantly fighting an uphill battle to get his voice heard. Um and I'm very interested to see how that finally blows up in all their faces. The last thing that we have seen from Canon Logan, um, where it which is Logan is trying to get Thomas to clean his house. Um, Tom Logan is trying to get Logan blah 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 blah. Logan is trying to get Thomas to clean his house because his house is a freaking mess. And he has all these chores that he needs to do. And Logan made a schedule about how to do it. But Thomas is a little distracted because he has recently met a new character named Nico, who's like a real person Nico, um, who he has a crush on. And, uh, and so there's a little love interest coming in here. And Logan and Thomas just can't stop thinking about him. He's like waiting for a text from the guy. Um and he's getting more and more worried with how long it is taking Nico to like text him back and well and so his intrusive thoughts are getting loud again. So Remus is coming in and is just messing with Thomas, and Logan is trying his best to try to silence Remus and like ignore Remus so Thomas can do his work. Um, and it ends up not working. Nico uh no doing this in order. Um, Logan tries to reason with Remus, tries to be like, listen, we need to work together as a team. Like, can you just like listen to me? And Remus is not having it. He's not listening to Logan. He's just really getting on Logan's nerves. And so Logan finally screams out to stop ignoring him. And that finally gets Remus's attention because Remus is just like, "Wow, all right. But am I really the person you want to yell that at?" And then Remus disappears. And it's at that moment that Nico finally texts Thomas back to go hang out to an art museum, right? And so seeing the opportunity to go meet up with his crush, Thomas immediately abandons Logan and the house and all the chores and the promise that he made to Logan to clean the house to go and pursue Nico. And so Logan had once again been ignored. And that is the last thing that we have seen from Canon Logan. Um yeah, that is the last we have seen of Canon Logan. And so so yeah, Logan very much very clearly being ignored. Um, and he's probably scared about what would happen to Thomas if he keeps continuing to refuse to listen to him. Um, yeah. So the next lines are, "What the fuck is this? You're crazy. Turn around in 2 weeks' time. Replace me. The memory. Everyone knows how it goes. You just erase me. Do me like a bro and tease me. Fireworks proof it's gone amazing. New bio. You've gone solo. Drawing mustaches on your wedding photos." That's a funny line. Yeah. So so the song kind of just continues on with the idea of just like, remove me from your life. Like, I'm out of here. I'm done. I'm not going to be here anymore. Just erase me. And the last lines are, erase me and you'll never have to face me. Erase me. Option command escape me. And if you feel nothing, guess what I want to be? Nothing. So Logan very much does not feel appreciated. And so I took that song. And so now we're finally coming back to the fan fiction I was writing. We finally get back to it. after after an hour, we're finally coming back. We're finally coming back to the fan fiction I was writing. Um, we're finally getting back to it. I wrote a fan fiction. One two says, drink some water before you dehydrate. All right. All right. There you go. Um, so I will say that this was not a original concept from me. I had read a fan fiction very similar to what the one I was writing, which was the idea that because everyone was ignoring Logan, the subconscious was fading him out, and so his room was getting smaller and smaller. Um, and unless they did something, Logan was basically going to no longer exist. So So I took that idea and I also kind of ran it myself. So we had a similar concept, and I played it out slightly differently. Obviously, I haven't read the fan fiction, that specific fan fiction, in a very long time. So hopefully, I didn't steal too much of it. But what this fan fiction is basically is that Logan's room, it this fanfiction takes place inside of Thomas's mind in a place called the Mind Palace, where everyone, which is kind of built like Thomas's apartment, and all the sides have their own little rooms, um, and they all live in this house basically, and but not Roman's, Logan's room starts shrinking on him, right? It starts shrinking on him. It's getting smaller. And Logan realizes this as, oh, well, it looks like they're finally getting rid of me. Well, that's not good. And instead of trying to do things to stop his fading, um, he works on trying to make it so the others can live without him. And we get to the second part of this stream. We get to the second part of this stream, which was basically, I said that I was going to play Pokemon until Space was done with his stream, and then we're gonna read some fan fiction, guys. We're gonna read some fan fiction. Um, who's ready to read some fan fiction? I think this is big enough. It's fine because I'm gonna end up reading it anyway. Oh shoot, hold on. Uh, I need to. Can I pick this up and move it without causing a fuss? Because there we go. Sorry. I had to disconnect my capture card, and that ended up unplugging my headset, so you probably couldn't hear me for a couple of minutes there. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to read my fan fiction, and then hopefully we're going to finish the fan fiction. I actually haven't finished the story yet, but I'm getting close. I think I'm like one or two scenes away from finishing this thing. It's 21 pages long, and everything and all the paragraphs are double spaced like this, so it's not going to really feel like it's that long of a story. Um, and this is completely written by me. So Space had like no input on this. I offered Space to help me write this, but Space didn't want to write it with me, so this is all just me. Okay. So so we're gonna read this together and then hopefully finish it. All right? Um okay. Okay. I just wanted to make sure where it is. Okay. So this is why I refilled my water bottle. Logan didn't notice that his room was shrinking. It's easy to miss a few inches, but now it's noticeable. A few feet were missing in his room that's supposed to be a 20 feet square. Is it 20 feet or 20 foot? I think it's 20 foot. I think it's supposed to be 20 foot. 20 foot square. Logan could no longer deny that something was wrong. Though being the logical side, Logan knew exactly what was happening. He's being phased out. After the last video where he was ignored and pushed aside by Patton, Roman, and Janice, to Thomas once again ignoring him to pursue Nico instead, the only logical it's only logical that Thomas's subconscious is finally taking the hint and deciding that Logan is not blah blah blah. I can read. Decide that Logan isn't needed anymore. Logan should be scared or angry at this, but he isn't much for emotional outbursts, or at least he tries not to. No, there is no reason to get upset over something so logical. People change and grow into different needs and wants. Thomas doesn't want Logan anymore. It doesn't hurt. It does. Logan knows he's on limited time. He personally doesn't know how the others will survive without him. He's the only one who knows first aid for when Roman gets hurt. He's the one that deals with Remus the most to assure the others that Remus isn't the threat that they all believe him to be. For the most part, Logan is the one that Virgil goes to for calm reassurances. When Logan isn't here, someone has to fill in that. Logan makes a list of things to do before he dies. Logan's to-do list. Teach Patton first aid. Patton's the best choice as Virgil isn't comfortable with dealing with blood. Give Virgil all resources to deal with anxiety I can find. Maybe also give a copy to Patton and Janice. Lecture Roman on how to deal with his brother. Maybe one day they might actually get along. Janice might also be good at handling Remus. Oh, I forgot about that part. Um, that's not actually what he ends up doing with Roman. Let me. That's not actually what he ends up doing with Roman. Instead of with Roman, he uh come come up with a schedule that Roman will actually follow. If that's even possible. There we go. That's better. Come up. Oh wait. Never mind. I already wrote that. All right, then I'll just take that part out. Okay. I forgot that I wrote that. All right. So these are the three things that he does. Come up with a schedule to that best balances Roman and my wants. It might be the only shot at getting him to follow it. Logan looks at his list. It's a good start, and he has no time to waste. Logan decides to start with Patton. First aid will take a bit to learn. I think first aid still needs to have that dash in it. Um, Given Patton time to practice and ask questions while Logan is still here to answer them. Logan grabs his medic bag and walks down the hall to Patton's room. He gives a hard knock on the blue colored door. Wood. Oh, okay. Patton opens the door with a bright smile at seeing Logan. Logan! Hey, kiddo! What can I do for you? He spots the bag as Logan moves to hold it up. I find it beneficial that more than one side knows first aid for whenever a time comes that I'm not currently available, or even, ever available again. Logan keeps his face in his usual professional, neutralism. Patton smiles. A smile doesn't falter at the strange request. Sure, it's a little weird that Logan wants someone else to give the job he was so happy to perform for all these years, but he does make a good point. It never hurts to have two doctors in the house. Besides, Patton is just happy that someone is still talking to him last after the latest episode stirring the pot. Sure, Lo, come on in. Logan sits at his computer. His room is now 12 by 12. Logan has turned his normal queen size bed into a twin size bed to give the blah 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 to give himself more floor space. First aid with Patton has been going well, despite the constant medical puns Patton insists on making at any given moment. Now it's time to focus on Virgil. Something is clearly bothering him, and Logan will fix it before he leaves. The anxious side hasn't left his room in 2 weeks, 3 days, 4 hours, and 37 minutes. Logan picks up a folder full of articles he finds beneficial to Virgil. Logan picks up his folder full of articles he finds beneficial for Virgil, goes to Virgil's room, and knocks. He doesn't get an answer, though that's not uncommon with Virgil. Either he's in the middle of an anxiety spiral, has headphones on, or both. Either way, if Virgil doesn't respond to his call, Logan cracks open the door enough to see in, as he and Virgil have agreed to. Logan finds Virgil sitting on his bed, staring at the wall. The room is dark, and the purple mood lights that along the ceiling are off. Interesting. Virgil usually keeps them on, even when he's asleep. Logan walks into the room. Virgil, are you alright? Virgil blinks and looks over. Oh, Logan. He turns his gaze back at the wall. Logan slowly sits on the bed. Virgil, is something wrong? Virgil doesn't answer for a long moment. Either he's thinking about how to respond, or he'd rather not answer. Logan would Logan would be more patient with him if he wasn't on a deadline to get things done. If Virgil isn't ready to talk, that's fine. At least Logan can give him the resources for when he needs them. Logan sets uh you know what? I don't think that needs to be two different paragraphs. Logan sets the folder on the nightstand. I believe these articles will help with any anxiety or panic attacks you experience in the future. I found articles about meditation, aromatherapy, exercise, and music. I'm sure Roman will be able to summon any items you desire. Virgil looks at Logan with knitted brows. It's not Logan's standard approach to helping Virgil. Neither is walking away with one shoulder pat. Virgil watches Logan get up and leave without another word. He looks down at the folder. Virgil's gonna have to turn on the lights to read this. Logan knocks on Roman's door. Working with Roman is one one of the more dreadful parts of his job. If they could work together, they could make something great. But most of the time, working with Roman is a headache because the stubborn fool won't listen to reason and just runs off to do whatever he wants. But this is important. They have to get on the same page, as they say, about the schedule, or else Thomas won't get anything done. The door opens as Roman gives his best wide, shiny white teeth smile. Well, hello, our source of all things nerdy. Logan regrets knocking on the door. For Thomas, Logan reminds himself. Good afternoon, Roman. Are you busy? I would like to talk about about a new schedule. The moment Logan mentions schedule, Roman groans. You and your strict schedules. Ugh. Uh, as it turns out, I am busy. He tries to close the door. Logan puts his hand on the door to stop Roman from closing it. Usually, Logan wouldn't be this aggressive, but he doesn't have time for Roman's dramatics. This is important. Please. The please comes out softer than Logan wanted, almost like a plea or beg. Lucky for Logan, it's the soft tone that gives Roman pause. Truth be told, Roman isn't busy. He just didn't want to work on another schedule that goes nowhere. Well, he describes his relationship with his brother as looking in a funhouse mirror. His relationship with Logan is like two sides of the same coin. Logan is strict and orderly. Roman is flexible and sporadic. Logan is like a rock and Roman is like the waves. Roman moves when he wants. He can't follow strict rules because that's not how creativity works. And that is something a person like Logan would never understand. But it's the soft tone that gives Roman pause. Something in Logan's eyes tells him that something more is going on, something that Logan is clearly hiding behind his stoic demeanor. But as they say, the eyes are the windows to the soul. All right, calendar. I guess I can make time for you. Thank you. Logan enters Roman's room. He summons his calendar. We need to come together to make a formula for how scheduling should work. Logan drapes Roman drapes himself over his plush couch. What's the point? We have never agreed in the past. The point is hopefully we can come to an agreement. Now this formula has to take into account the recommended requirements for a healthy person to have. Roman groans. 8 hours of sleep, six small meals spread out throughout the day, healthy foods at that, maintenance, work. Yes, 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 all the boring things. Roman throws his arms around. We have been over this. Do you want me to pull out the video where we talk about this topic? Logan holds himself straight. It always helps to have a reminder, especially when you don't grasp the concept. Oh, I grasp the concept. I just don't care. Logan takes a deep breath. Of course he doesn't care. Well, what do you care about? Roman smiles. Now we're talking. He hops up to his feet. Let me show you. He grabs Roman's hand and drags him to a door. Roman, wait. Roman throws the door open and drags Logan into the imagination. Roman, you know I don't like being in the imagination. Oh, hush, dream killer. We won't be here long. The section of the mind the sections of the mind where Thomas's aspects are their strongest is called their domains, or rooms for when they talk about it in videos. And of course, certain domains have negative effects on the others, like how none of them can handle spending too much time in Virgil's domain, or Virgil didn't do well in Patton's domain. Equally enough, Logan doesn't do well in the imagination. This is just a theory. We haven't seen Roman's room yet, so we don't know how the others interact in Roman's room, but I imagine that Logan wouldn't do too well in Roman's room. The imagination lacks logical or rational thinking, which is what Logan is. So being in here too long weakens Logan's senses and frustrates him. And if Logan spends a really long time in here, he starts to lose track of what's real or not, as his mind tries to follow the logic of the land. They learned that the hard way. Roman waves his hand around and a scene starts to take form. A movie studio appears, people walking around getting ready for the next shoot. Roman gestures at it. This is what I care about. Getting Thomas here. Thomas Sanders to the stage, the director calls out. An imaginary Thomas walks up to the fake living room. Another imaginary actor walks onto the set. Logan points at the man. Is that Chris Evans? Roman swoons. Yes. He clears his throat. But don't you see? This is what's important. Thomas reaching his dreams and becoming a professional actor. They're being a star. Where's any of that in your schedule? Where in any of your schedules do you ever make time for Thomas becoming a star? It takes time, Roman. We need to go to auditions, land roles, and expand his portfolio. And when does he have the time to do that? Roman points at Logan's calendar. Where? Logan looks down at it. He needs to make something that Roman would want to follow if they are going to have any form of structure. Being the focus on Thomas's hopes and dreams is only rational that this is Roman's priorities. If Logan tries to argue for his, Roman will only shut him down. Logan will have to rely on Janice to make sure that Thomas practices self care. I guess I can make more room for dream chasing. It would probably also help if Thomas took some more classes. You can never go wrong with expanding your knowledge. Roman beams and claps his hands. Now you're getting it. He opens the door to his room and enters. He smirks at Logan as he comes across. See? That wasn't so bad. Logan crosses the border of the imagination to Roman's bedroom. The world tilts on Logan, and for a moment he loses his balance, slamming his body against a bookcase. Roman flinches and puts his hands up to help balance Logan. Whoa, are you okay? Logan holds his head as he waits for the room to stop spinning. I'm okay. I'm just tired. Did you not get a proper amount of sleep last night? Remus jokes. That would be very hypocritical of the logical side. I guess not. Please excuse me. Logan pulls away from Roman and goes back to his room. He closes his eyes for a moment. I'm running out of time. Please, just a little bit more time. Logan's room is now too small for him to use. It's 6 by 6 feet. At that point, Logan took his laptop, locked his room so no one could enter, and moved to the commons. Luckily, the current view between the other sides keeps them in their rooms for most of the day. Logan is peacefully typing on his laptop. He is working on the perfect schedule he can't come up with. That isn't to a specific green side, swipes it away from Logan. Remus grins at Logan. Sup, dork? Logan looks up at Remus unamused. Remus, I don't have time for this. Sure you do. I'm sure whatever boring thing you're working on is very important or whatever. Remus is already grinding. So, continues. Continues. Uh, yeah, continues grinning. Now let's play. Logan watches Remus run to the other side of the commons, waving his laptop around. Remus acts like a child. Logan honestly doesn't understand how the other sees him as a threat. This behavior is typical for Remus, coming in, taking his work, and forcing Logan to chase him around in a game of keep away. Logan finds it childish, but playing along is the best way to get him to stop. If Logan tries to ignore him or demand the item back, Remus doubles down and makes the game harder. Essentially, Remus is bored and he wants to have some fun with one of the only two sides that doesn't scream at his mere presence. Though some days Logan is sure that Remus likes it when they scream, and going after Logan is just one of those ways to see uh how far he can push Logan before he lashes out. Today, Logan doesn't have time for games, not when his time is running out. So he quickly gets up and starts to chase around the commons to get his laptop back. Remus Remus cackles as he runs around. He drops Legos and marbles around the floor to trip Logan up. Logan prides himself in his spatial awareness and fast reflexes. Not as fast as Virgil, of course, but still impressive. Sadly, today is not his lucky day. Logan's vision blurs as the world tilts on him and his ears begin to ring. He slips on the marbles and falls onto the floor, Lego bricks pressing into his arms. Remus cheers and laughs at Logan. Got you! You fell harder than a suicide jumper in a pool of sharks that tears you apart limb by body limb! A bloodly limb! Logan doesn't respond as he focuses on his returning senses. Exhaustion hits him like a figurative tidal wave. Logan becomes aware that his time is getting shorter, and he hasn't finished everything he needs to get done. Remus quick Remus's cheers quickly stop as he watches Logan, not moving to get up and continue their game. Hey, Detective Snooze, you still alive? Logan finally sits up and holds his head. For now, he mumbles, but Remus catches it. You good, Specs? It's an odd choice of words from the nerd. Logan doesn't joke, so for him to say that means that Logan expects to die soon. What? Does Logan think Remus is going to kill him? That would be fun, but Janice would be disappointed in him, and Remus can't have that. It's not like Remus actually cares, but he can't go losing his favorite victim. However, Remus also likes to call him his lab project. Lab partner, when he can get Logan curious enough about an experiment to play Mad Doctor with him. Give me my laptop, Remus, Logan says sternly. He can't play Remus's games, not when he's fighting off exhaustion. Logan will admit that he doesn't know if he will wake up if he falls asleep, or how long he will sleep. The schedule must be finished. I'm not done playing. What, did Mr. Perfect sleep schedule forget to sleep or something? Remus notices how pale and exhausted the brain side is. I'm serious, go bother Roman. Usually, Remus would keep fighting to get his way, but he's never seen Logan beg at him before. Still, on his hands and knees, his arms are shaking slightly, like he can't support his weight. Logan knows better than to brush Remus off, so because Remus is feeling nice, not concerned, don't be crazy, he hands Logan his laptop. Whatever, enjoy the floor, Doc. Pissy's probably more fun anyway. Logan watches Remus sink out and pulls himself to his feet. His head feels like he's figuratively being submerged in water. Logan stumbles back to the couch and collapses on it. He drops his laptop on the floor as his eyes slam shut. It looks like Logan doesn't have a choice here. He just hopes that he can wake up in time to finish his work. Virgil stands out a Virgil stands in front of a yellow painted door with his hands in his jacket pockets. It's not like he wants to see the snake side, but something is off about Logan. Like how he's been camping out on the couch for the past couple of days, and the folder, though helpful, was a lot of information to throw at Virgil at once, then leaving like he had better places to be. So no, he's not happy about asking the snake for help, but he can stomach it for the other's sake. He gives a hard knock on the door. Open up, Snake. The door opens to reveal a smug-looking Janice. Well, hello to you too. Something's up with Logan. What do you know? Janice puts a hand to his chest. Ah, do tell. Why do you think I know anything about our fellow nerd? Virgil crosses his arms, staring the man down. Because it's you, and you know everything? Janice smirks and gives a little laugh. Oh, Virgil, it's so to see you acknowledge my intelligence, Virgil hisses at him. But I absolutely know what you're talking about. Oh, really? So Logan hasn't been acting strange to you? Well, I assume you would be a better judge of that than me. Aren't you two friends? Virgil bares his fangs at Janice. He doesn't have time for this bullshit. Look, I need to get into Logan's room, but the door is locked. And I know you have a key to everyone's room. Don't lie to me. I know you do. Oh, you want to break and enter into logic, sign into the logic? Why? Um, you want to break and enter? You want to break and enter Logan's room? How so very evil of you, light side. That strikes a nerve in Virgil, and he quickly starts to lose his patience with the snake. Are you going to help me or not? Of course. Janice steps out of his room and closes the door. I just love pulling your tail. Virgil growls at Janice as they walk down the hall to Logan's room. You are the worst. Janice tests. Someone has to be, or else who? Bleh. Someone has to be, or who else would you blame when things go wrong? With a flick of his wrist, Janice summons a key and unlocks the door. He smirks at Janice and bows. After you. Virgil rolls his eyes and shoves Janice out of the way before opening the door. They both blink in confusion when they see the tiny room. The ceiling covers a third of the doorway. If you wanted in, you might as well crawl on your hands and knees. What the hell? Janice frowns in deep thought as Virgil tries to make sense of what he's seeing. Why is the room so small? Virgil turns to face Janice. Why is the room so small? Janice looks down at Virgil, answering his question with another question. Where is Logan? Virgil books it downstairs where he believes Logan to be. He finds Logan unconscious on the couch, his laptop open on the side of the floor. Panic rises in Virgil's chest, alarm bells ringing in his head, telling him that something is terribly wrong. Virgil grabs Logan's shoulders and shakes him. Wake up! Wake up! Virgil's distorted voice rings out, but Logan remains asleep. Or is he dead? You're not gonna wake him like that. Virgil snaps his head up at Janice coming down the stairs. If Virgil didn't know Janice for as long as he did, he would have thought that Janice was uninterested in what was going on. But Virgil knows better. Janice is scared, and that's never a good sign. What is wrong with him? I'll let the man speak for himself, but right now Logan is low on energy. Get Thomas to do something that would acquire Logan's feel, like taxes. Virgil makes a sour face. We hate doing taxes. Janice raises a brow at Virgil. Do you want to help Logan or not? Virgil sinks out to go order Thomas around. Janice walks over to the couch and looks down at the sleeping's logical side. He puts a gloved hand into Logan's hair and massages his head. The mind warns Janice. It tells him of Logan's fate if they don't stop it. After a few minutes, Logan sits up awake. I need help Thomas with his taxes. Janice quickly puts a hand on Logan's shoulder. Relax. Taxes can wait. Logan looks at Janice, fixing his glasses. What could possibly be more important than helping Thomas with his finances? Virgil rises up and grabs Logan's shoulders. What is wrong with you? Why is your room small? Are you going to die? That, Janice simply answers Logan's question, taking a sip of water. Logan looks between the two sides. He knows that eventually he would need to break the news, as one would say, to the others. Looking at Janice, he seems unbothered. He probably already knows what's going on. Looking at Virgil, his eyeshadow has darkened and he seems anxious. Logan will have to calm him down. Take a deep breath, Virgil. I will explain everything. Virgil lets out a heavy sigh as he lets go of Logan's shoulders. You better. What the hell is happening? Logan looks down and picks up his laptop. He properly closes it and places it on the coffee table. My room is getting smaller because the subconscious is removing me from the equation. Virgil freezes, gripping his arms as he yells, What what do you mean you're being removed? Are you seriously dying? If you want to put it that way, then yes, I'm dying. Usually, when Virgil thinks someone is dying, he is wrong. He's not supposed to be right. He's supposed to be wrong. Logan is supposed to tell him he's wrong. Logan shouldn't be dying. Why is Logan dying? How are you so calm about this? Why are you dying? It's pointless to be upset about it. Not that I can get upset about it. Janice rolls his eyes at the denial. As for why, it's quite simple. I'm not needed anymore. I'm ignored and pushed aside by Thomas. I serve no purpose to him. Therefore, I'm being removed. Virgil digs his fingers into his arms. No, no, no! You listen here, Professor Necktie. We need you. Thomas needs you. I need you. You can't just leave us. I don't have a choice on the matter. This is happening because Thomas wants it. This wouldn't be happening if he wanted me. No, this is bullshit. There has to be a mistake. We are talking to Thomas right now. Virgil grabs Logan's arm and pulls him to his feet. Logan's vision blurs as he at being harshly pulled up, a symptom of getting up too fast. The room feels like it's tilting, though Logan knows it's just him. He holds his head to get his bearings. Logan? Don't manhandle him, he's not well. I'm fine, Janice. Thank you for your concern. Logan puts his hand away from his head. Janice looks at him uh looks away from his staring contest with Virgil to look at Logan. Are you going to be able to sink out? Yes. Janice isn't convinced, but arguing isn't helpful. Of course, Logan didn't mention his condition to the others. He sees nothing wrong with his removal, not with the evidence he has for why it's necessary. The three of them sink out to Thomas's living room. Thomas rises in front of the stairs, while Janice and Logan rise against the stairs, next to the stairs. Logan experiences another round of headedness and vertigo. He wasn't prepared for it, and his legs give out. Luckily, Janice quickly catches Logan and holds him up. I got you. Thomas looks up from his laptop, excited to see Logan is here to help him with his taxes, then concerned at seeing how pale the logical side is. A, pre- a pressure feeling rises in Logan's stomach and his chest, combined with the increase in saliva buildup. I need to sit down. Janice helps Logan make it over to the couch and sits him down. Virgil comes over, voicing Thomas's questions. Are you okay? Do you need anything? I'm just experiencing motion sickness. Can you give me some water? Virgil rushes over to the kitchen to get a glass. Thomas closes his laptop so his focus can be on Logan. Hey, are you okay, buddy? Is something wrong? Before Logan can answer, Virgil yells from the kitchen, "You bet your ass something's wrong, Sanders!" Virgil let the man speak. Heaven knows how much time he has left. Thomas looks at Janice before looking back at Logan. What does he mean by that? It almost sounds like you're dying? Well, that is one way to phrase it. Logan sits up straight, posing himself like an adult needing to give bad news to a child. Thomas, as you grow up, needs and wants change. Tools that helped you in the past can become unneeded and thus need to be removed. I happen to be one of the things you don't need anymore. Thomas laughs, because what else are you supposed to do when one of your sides says this? What are you talking about? I still need you, Logan. You're my logical side. How can I not need you? Well, Thomas, it's quite simple. You don't listen to me. The last couple of episodes made that clear. Your career in life doesn't count for me. I have outlived my usefulness to you. Logan, I still don't understand. How am I supposed to function without you? Oh, I see the concern now. Your ability to access my function, logic, knowledge, and memory will still be available to you. As I explained before, I am not a feeling you can just get rid of. It's more that I, as Logan, will not exist. You don't need a logical figment anymore. It's still bullshit, Virgil yells from the kitchen. He returns with a cup of water and shoves it in Logan's hands. I agree with Virgil, Thomas starts. I still need you. Sure, I can still have access to all that stuff, but I still need you to remind me of it, to ring me back in when the others get too loud, like with Remus. Thomas throws his hands in the air. Everyone was scared of him, but you weren't. You helped me with him. I couldn't have done that without you. You seem to believe that you need to convince me to stay. I have no control over what is happening to me. This fading process is happening because you want it. But I don't! I love all of you! Why would I want to get rid of you? Virgil narrows his eyes at Thomas. Yeah, Sanders. Why do you want to get rid of Logan? I don't! Thomas looks at Janice. I don't, right? Janice looks around him. Janice looks all around him at the three men. Logan's calm acceptance, Virgil's suspicion, and Thomas's panic and guilt. We are all part of Thomas. We all influence how he feels. I believe Thomas, as a whole, doesn't want to get rid of Logan, but enough of him wants to. Virgil glares at Janice. So you're saying one of us is killing Logan? Yes, someone is pulling their weight and wants Logan gone. And no, it is not me. Logan is one of the few people I tolerate. I would love to live in a world without him and having to deal with you idiots. Logan narrows his eyes. Is that supposed to be a compliment? A compliment to you, an insult to everyone else. Virgil hisses at Janice. Okay, hey. Thomas claps his hands to get their attention. I'm sure no one is trying to kill Logan. It's probably just a misunderstanding or something. Let's just call the others and figure this out. Thomas raises his hands to summon his sides. Patton raises in front of the window. Hey, kiddo! Remus raises up in front of the TV and scans the room, his eyes landing on Logan. Sup, dork? Feeling better after your fall? Virgil glares at Remus. Did you know? Remus looks at Virgil with the same crazed smile. Know what? Patton looks between Remus and Logan. Fall? What fall? He takes a closer look at Logan. You're looking a little pale there, kiddo. Are you okay? I am all right, Logan assures. Logan, you are not all right. You're fading away, Thomas reminds him. Patton screeches. What? Record scratch? Wait, you mean he's dying? Like, seriously, because that's some fucked up shit. Remus grins. Yes, yes, this is a real crisis. Where is Roman? Janice, Janice asks. Remus giggles. He's still cleaning up after our game. Virgil scoffs. Seriously? Roman rises up. I'm here. Remus puts his hands in surrender. It's not my fault Logan the nerdy ghost didn't want to play with me. Don't call him that, Virgil snaps. He's not dying. We are fixing this. Patton is already in tears. Why is this happening? Roman looks around, seeing Patton in tears, Remus and Virgil bickering, and the snake next to Logan, who is sitting on the couch next to Thomas. It's all bizarre. Well, except for Remus and Virgil. That's pretty normal. Whoa, what's going on here? Logan rubs his head. This is why I wasn't going to say anything. No one hears Logan except for Janice, who has been keeping an eye on him. The others are too busy with their emotions to get their shit together and focus on the person that they keep ignoring. And they wonder why Logan believes he's not wanted. Patton tackles Logan into a hug. Logan, why are you dying? I don't want to lose you. What? Dying? Roman looks at Logan more closely. He does seem paler. He could give Virgil a run for his money for fairest of them all. Logan answers Patton's question. Well, if Janice's theory is correct, it's because one or more of you don't see me as essential for Thomas. Patton pulls away from Logan, a heartbroken expression on his face. What? We don't want to get rid of you. Robin scoffs. Oh, sure. We don't listen to your boring lectures and boring ideas, and you decide to try to leave? I have to say, that's very dramatic and unprofessional of you, Logan. This can't be real. It just can't be. There's no way Logan is leaving them. Roman! Pump the brakes, Princey! Way to kick a decaying horse, bro. Virgil scowls at Roman. This is your fault. Can you be any more stupid? This isn't some stupid act of attention. Logan is seriously dying and you have the nerve to insult him more? Logan's ears ring, causing him to miss the argument between Roman and Virgil. Even Patton has moved over to attempt to break them up. Logan's head starts to pound with the rising nausea. Then he feels a hand on his shoulder. Logan lifts his head to see Janice kneeling in front of him. Janice's voice cuts through the ringing. What do you need? Logan takes a deep breath as he tries to think. Quiet in a bucket. Janice looks over at the argument sides. Even Thomas has abandoned Logan's side to try to calm the children down. Remus seems to be enjoying the chaos. He locks eyes with Janice, who nods at Logan. His favorite nerd looks miserable, and he's not the one causing it. Remus easily walks away from the raging dumpster fire and helps Janice lift Logan up. The three of them disappear and appear in a bedroom with yellow wallpaper and an elegant design that could rival Roman's room. The bedroom has a fireplace and a tall bookshelf filled with books and records. The trip does Logan over as he covers his mouth. Janice bends Logan over as Remus summons a rusty bucket for him. Logan throws up into the bucket and coughs for a minute before deciding that he's done. Logan leans away from the bucket and focuses on his breathing. Uh, Janice hands him a towel and a water bottle. Logan takes a long drink. Thank you. Remus picks up the bottle. Logan vomits. Sweet. He sends it to his room to do who knows what with it. Janice helps Logan to his bed and sits him down. Feeling better? Logan holds his aching head. No, he admits truthfully and looks around his room. Where are we? My room, Janice answers. You asked for quiet. Logan looks around the room, noticing it is quiet. With a ticking clock for background noise, Remus rocks back and forth on his heels of his feet. Yeah, it's pretty boring here, but perfect for you two nerds. He grins at Janice and Logan. When Remus calls Logan a nerd, it doesn't sound like an insult like when Roman does it. It doesn't feel like Remus is pushing Logan down. It's said with endearment, with a hint of teasing, but none of the cruelty or negativity behind it. I do find your room to be. Logan pulls. I'll have to fix that later. Logan pulls out a stack of note cards and flips through them before finding what he's looking for. He flips it over. A vibe. Did I use that right? Janice smiles fondly. Good enough. I'm happy you like my room. I don't think I need that line. So, when do I get to slaughter the others? Remus asks with an evil grin on his face. No. Logan and Janice both answer at the same time. Janice continues. Sadly, my dear Duke, we cannot kill the others. Remus crosses his arms and pouts. If there were any, if there were anyone Remus would listen to, it's Janice and sometimes Logan. Why are you here, Remus? Logan asked. A question that would be rude to most people, but it's just how Logan talks. Logan is blunt and to the point most of the time. Despite his neutral tone in his voice, the question comes out of curiosity and not annoyance at Remus being there, unlike other people. Remus scans the room as if he's expecting someone to jump out of nowhere. Truth be told, Dork, I like you. You're fun to mess with and tease, and I love making you angry. Logan Logan frowns at Remus, looking a little annoyed now. But most importantly, you listen to me. Logan softens at that. Everyone else just runs for the hills when I come around, which can be fun at times, but don't get me wrong. But sometimes I want to be listened to. I have some great ideas that no one but you two will listen to. Or I have fun or I have fun experiments to try and I want to have a mad science partner. Even if you do make me wear all that safety equipment and follow the rules. Lab safety is essential, Logan defends. Now that Remus hasn't heard the speech over 100 times. Yeah, I know, Remus huffs. But yeah, I don't want to lose you, Teach. Who else is going to dissect a horse with me? What is with you and horses this week? Janice asks. Remus shrugs his arms. I'm having a horse phase. Logan smiles softly, a warm feeling in his chest. He appreciates what Remus has to say. Remus doesn't get serious often, so he must be seriously concerned about Logan. Logan honestly didn't think anyone would care if he disappeared, but so far everyone, except for Roman, has shown distress at the idea of Logan leaving. Thank you, Remus. That was uncharacteristically sweet of you. Don't get used to it, Big Willie. Oh, I get it now. You want Logan gone so no one will be able to stop you from making a fool of Thomas, Virgil accuses. Real prince-like for you. Roman keeps his hands up as he tries to calm the raging emo. No! You're not listening to me! I don't want him dead! Thomas puts his hands between Roman and Virgil. He looks at Virgil. Calm down. This arguing isn't helping anyone, especially Logan. Logan huffs and sticks his hands in his pockets. I still think it's Roman's fault. Oh, like were any better. Here, we have all told him to shut up from time to time. Patton dries his face. Roman's right. We've all played a part of this. I wasn't too kind to Logan in our last video together. I completely pushed him away. I literally hit the skip button on him! He covers his face with his hands. Thomas frowns. Oh, Pat, it's okay. Patton shakes his head. What if it's my fault? What if what have I been doing this to him? All I seem to do is make mistakes. Roman and Virgil stay quiet. It's no secret that they have been angry at the father's side for his recent actions. Thomas goes over to comfort Patton. Hey, everything's going to be okay. No one wants Logan to go, right? So as long as that's true, then Logan will be fine, right? He looks at Roman and Virgil. But if that has always been true, then why is he fading in the first place? If none of us want him to go, then who's trying to kick Logan out? Virgil bites his thumbnail. Unless someone is lying. He looks towards the couch where he expects to see Janice and Logan, but then he freezes. Roman gives a half laugh. Lying. Yeah, like that two-faced snake. He looks over to the couch. Where's Logan? Patton and Thomas look over to see that Logan is gone. We were too late. He's gone. He's dead. Patton starts crying again. Panic starts to fill Thomas as he calls out, Logan? Logan appears at his spot, then immediately grabs onto the railing and throws up on the floor. The other two are too relieved to see Logan to care about the vomit. Logan! They all called out. Janice and Remus appear. Stop jerking him around! Janice snaps. He helps Logan to the couch. Remus looks down to see that he's stepping in Logan's vomit. Oh man, I missed my chance to get more vomit. Thomas claps his hands. Guys, focus! He looks at Janice. None of us want him to leave. So why is this happening? Janice looks around them. Someone is lying. Someone has to be instigating this. He looks at Remus. Remus never hides his true feelings, not to mention his heartfelt confession to Logan in Janice's room. So it's not him. Janice looks at Virgil. The idea of anyone dying, no matter if he likes them or not, scares the shit out of Virgil. He would never dream of killing any of them. Janice looks at Patton. Patton is filled with guilt for a lot of things. Things that he should talk about. Things that they should talk about at some point before the bottle breaks. But for now, Patton doesn't have the heart to kill anyone. Janice looks at Roman. Roman seems like the most likely person to want to kill Logan. The two bicker like no tomorrow, and while he can see Roman as someone who would fan the flames, he's not the one who started it. Janice looks at Logan. He sees rejection, acceptance. Logan believes that he's needed. Logan's never given up on the idea that he was important, but as he said, logic isn't something that you can throw away. Logan's job isn't going anywhere. So if his need is safe, it's the want that is the problem. Hold on, let me just emphasize those two words. And Logan told them what was wrong. He said that no one wants him. He was the first person to throw that out, that no one wants him. No one wants Logan. The acceptance. Oh, darling, Janice pats Logan's head. Patton looks at Janice. What? What is it? Janice looks up at them. He's been doing it to himself. That makes everyone freeze, even Logan. Logan looks up at Janice. What are you talking about? I don't want to die. You are the only one who believes you're not wanted. Fueled by the way the others have treated you, you have convinced yourself that they don't want you, and so you've been erasing yourself. Logan stares out. He's been killing himself? But that's so illogical. His own demise would cause the downfall of Thomas. Still stuck in denial, Janice amuses as he kneels. When you found out that you were fading, you had just accepted it. You didn't fight it. You just started playing on preparing the others for when you were gone. Patton gasped. The first aid lessons! Virgil stuffs his hands in his pockets. The anxiety management research. Insisting we made a schedule. Janice nods. Nothing you did was in the act of keeping you here. Because you don't feel wanted. You don't want to be here. Logan lowers his head. It's true. He didn't fight back. He felt ignored, pushed aside, and unwanted. He was so tired of being silenced. He did give up. But what other choice did he have? Things were only seeming to get worse for him. It felt so logical for him to leave. Oh, God. Logan drops his head in his hands. Patton rushes over to hug Logan. I am so sorry I ever made you feel unwanted. I'm sorry I ignored your feelings. Please don't go. I'll make it up to you. I promise. Logan slowly hugs Patton. Patton is a caring person, by all means not perfect. Patton gives his all for other people. I believe you. A weight has been lifted from Patton's shoulders. He kisses Logan's forehead before letting him go. Virgil shuffles over, fidgeting with his hands. I should have seen the signs. I guess this was your way of ducking out, and I should have known how that felt, so I'm sorry. You couldn't have known what you were clear that wasn't clearly stated. Logan feels himself getting more tired. Still, Virgil shifts around. I want you around. I think you've made that very clear. Everyone looks at Roman expectantly. X. Okay, this is spelled wrong. X. Oh, expectantly? Is that how? No, that's exactly. Guys, how do you spell this word that I'm trying to say? Expectantly? How do I spell it? All those like accepting and expecting, those words always trip me up. How do I spell it? Expectant. Expectant. Oh, okay. Okay. Like that? X uh hold on, let me just start from the beginning. Expectantly. Okay, thank you. Thank you, one. Roman clears his throat. Logan, I know we don't always get along, but I. Logan misses the rest of Roman's sentence as his eyes close and he falls forward. Janice catches him before he can fall off the couch. But losing him, Patton starts to panic. What do we do? What do we do? Logan bites his nails. Virgil bites his nails. I don't know. Logan usually comes up with the plans. Roman stares down at Logan. He's going to die before Roman can say what he wants. Logan is low on energy. How do you summon more energy? He looks at Thomas. We bring the man to the source. Thomas! Thomas jumps as he looks at Roman. You need to bring us to Logan's room. Thomas's eyes light up. Right, of course. Thinking logical things. One by one, the sides disappear. And that is as far as I gotten. That is that's as far as I gotten. What do we think? Yeah, was that good? Was that good? Was it bad? Was it trash? Who's even here? Um, I think Space is just lurking. Um, Pandament's here, but I think he only just lurks. Um, you're on the edge. Yeah, but you see why I had to give you all of that context? I needed to give you all of that context for this to make sense. I think what I wanted was to I think when I came up with this idea is that I did want it to be that in the end it was Logan's decision that this was happening to him. Um which is definitely still the other's fault for for their treatment of Logan, but I didn't feel like any of the others would hate I don't think anyone hates Logan. I think they don't understand Logan and they all have different motivations for what they think is best for Thomas, and that's why they always clash heads. I don't think they hate Logan. Like even in canon, I don't think they hate Logan. I think they just don't appreciate him. But but so I didn't think any of them were capable of the idea that any of them wanted Logan to actually be gone. And so that left it to being that Logan had to be the reason himself for why this was happening and such. And the reason why in the story, Janice was able to just catch on to all of that information, even though he was not a part of any of it, is mostly because, as the deceitful side of Thomas, he knows everything that Thomas is not prepared to know, and thus he knows everything that the sides are also not prepared to know. So when he had touched Logan and was told of what his fate was going to be and what was going on, uh, Janice was basically given all the information that he needed and such. And he can see the denial that Logan had in himself, and that's why he kind of looked around at the others because he can see what their real intentions were, which is how he knew that none of them were actually causing this. Um, which left it to Logan being the one who was causing it. So that is as far as I've gotten. Let's see if I can end this. All right. Um, in canon, the only two rooms that we have seen are Virgil's room and Patton's room. We haven't seen the others' rooms, and I really want to, but we're not there yet. I think in the season finale, I really hope we get to see Logan's room. I think Logan's probably the next one up for we get to see his room. This like season, we have been delving deeper into Roman and Logan. So I feel like it could go either way if on who Thomas is focusing on for the season finale while also adding Orange. Um but with how the last two like episodes had gone, I want to say that we're focusing on finishing Logan's arc and then we'll get to Roman's arc because Virgil had his arc and then Patton had a little mini arc. And you can even say that actually Patton's arc has finally finished with selfishness versus selflessness redux. I think that was kind of the end of Patton's arc. I think he's finally learned his lesson. Um yeah, I think I can see that. The beginning of the series up to accepting anxiety was kind of like Virgil's arc of like getting accepted. And then moving moving on to Redux kind of feels like we were having a bit of a Patton arc for his character. I think he grew the most in those episodes, especially with moving on, being like kind of the start where they kind of realize that Patton hides his feelings more and that Patton was struggling a little bit. I believe that is like kind of the first episode where they kind of acknowledge that, and then that moving on to obviously the selfish episode and the Remus episode, and then going back to the selfishness topic, he finally accepts that he's been pushing too hard. There's also smaller episodes with Patton that kind of also where he's kind of like the main part of it. So I think definitely, and so now um I think now we are definitely getting into like Logan's. I don't know where I want to say that Logan's arc has started. It's definitely started at least at Intrusive Thoughts. Um but I want to say that it's probably been going on for a little bit longer, and I don't know how I would say that Roman's arc. I think Roman's arc surprisingly actually kind of starts at least at the Crofters musical. Um, but even then, it's very interesting because Thomas puts hints here and there in in episodes about the how the other people feel. Um, there was that episode, the puppet episode. Um, that was definitely a Logan episode. That was definitely getting on Logan's patience. Um, but it was also kind of a Roman episode because Roman was I mean they were kind of like all trying to talk about their feelings in that episode. It's it's a little hard. It's a little hard. I haven't sat down to watch the whole series again. I mean, I did start. I was introducing it to Podmaster um back when we like first met each other. I was introducing the Sandersides to Podmaster because I thought he would really like Patton. Um, and I don't think we never ended up finishing it. Guy, can you imagine if we just did an entire stream where all we did was just watch Sandersides? That would be hours long. It is so long. I think if we tried to watch all the episodes of the Sandersides, it would probably take I I don't know if it would take 12 hours. I don't think it's that long, but it would take some hours. I think maybe at least 6 hours. If we just like watched all of it. And I also don't know how well just having I don't know how well like copyright would go if we just watch Sanders sides the entire time. Like not gonna lie, I don't know how that works. I mean there are videos where people like do reactions. So I don't think it's like that terrible of an idea. It's not like we're doing a like studio movie. I know that would hit me hard. Um it is just a YouTube video, and I don't think Thomas would himself would mind. God, I would love to meet Thomas. I would love to meet Thomas. I want to give him a hug. I would love to meet Thomas. If I could meet Thomas, that would make my life. Um okay. So, this story, well, it's now everything is fresh to my mind again. Let's see if we can finish up this story. Uh everyone and for this story, I'm not taking like suggestions from chat. I have a certain way I want this to go, so you're just gotta hear for the ride. And if I have any misspelling asks, because spelling is difficult. Uh, everyone rises up. And I'm trying to think, how do I want to design this room? So in the series, right, in the canon series, the rooms kind of um no worries, I just got the point from the beginning of the story tell. Okay. Um in the series, because of how the series is like made, it's like recorded in Thomas's living room. Um the sides explain that they're like quote unquote rooms, which I call domains in the story, uh change depending on what room Thomas is in. So I'm trying to think of like how I want to design the room. If I wanted to design it as in like it's an entirely different room itself, or if I want to try to keep in that continuity that when Thomas is there, the room shifts to whatever location that he's in, and thus the room would kind of look like his living room plus whatever things. Trying to think on how I want to do that because obviously it's like that because he's shooting it in his living room, so you can't really change like locations that much. So he has to work with what he has. And it is kind of fun to see what his living room looks um like changed up like that. I imagine that when we do see Logan's room in the canon series that there's just going to be piles of books and like binders everywhere. I think like there's a painting on the wall and I think the painting's going to be replaced with like a whiteboard, and maybe the whiteboard has like written on it like thoughts that Thomas has throughout the episode, and like it's constantly changing because like during Patton's room there was during Patton's room there was just like a photo, a like a picture frame, but the photos kept constantly changing throughout the episode. So like every time you went back to like Thomas where that photo frame would be, that picture frame would be in frame, it was there was a different picture. And when we were in Virgil's room, there was a clock and the clock was like moving backwards. So like it was constantly spinning but spinning in the wrong direction. Um and so I think for Logan's room, um there would just be a whiteboard, and maybe the whiteboard just shares Thomas's thoughts. Uh, I think that would be really fun. God, I just really want the season finale. I just really want it. I want to devour it. I want it in my soul. Please, Thomas, you're killing me. The wait is killing me. We've been waiting for a year. I mean, like, I don't blame Thomas. He's a he's like a one man band, and he has been working on it. He just has 15 billion projects, and so he kind of goes where where his muses goes. You know, whatever Roman feels like he wants to work on right now is what Thomas does. um, so there's no set time for when it's gonna come out. The fire of passion grows strong, and it wants to do other things. Currently, Thomas just started season 2 of role slaying with Roman. Season 2 finally started. And oh my gosh, Patton looks so cute in that series. Oh, he's so cute. I love him so much. I want a plushie of him. Um so little side tangent. Thomas has another series called Role Slaying with Roman, which is a D&D series that he plays with his where with he plays with his friend Terrence. And so Roman and Terrence are like the players, and then they have a DM. And then the DM actually just changed for season 2, so that's interesting. I was not expecting that, but the DM has changed for season 2, and that makes me think that every season might have a different DM. But and not to spoil any of the story elements to it. Um, but and also to clarify, even though it says role slaying with Roman, this Roman is different from Sanderside's Roman. This is Roman from Reston, which is Reston is the town that Roman is from. So it's a different Roman, but you you know, it's fun. So but the Sanderside's characters do show up in the series. So like season 1, we got to see Janice, and Janice was literally this like entire snake merchant. Um and so we got to interact with I think his name was like Doc Janice or something like that. He's really cool. He had like 6 glowing yellow hands. Um and he was just completely snake. He looked really cool. And at the end of season 1, they it gets mentioned that they're going to a town called Frog Town, and everyone was immediately like, we're gonna see Patton. We have to see Patton. And the reason why Patton is being associated with the frogs is because during the selfishness versus selflessness Redux episode, at the climax of that episode, um, Patton has said that his favorite game was Frogger because they were talking about video games. And so in the climax of that, when Patton has a complete meltdown, he kind of transformed into a giant bullfrog and attacked Thomas in a video game scenario. Um, it's it's a little hard to explain. I don't know how else to explain it than that. That's just what happens. So Patton now sometimes gets associated with frogs. So when we were told that that Roman and Youngblood, Terrence's character, were going to Frogtown, everyone was just like, "Oh God, we're going to see Patton. We have to see Patton. Patton's gonna be a frog. Let's go!" So the first episode of season 2 came out like I think last week. And sure enough, we got to meet Patton. His name is Lily Patton or something like that. He's called like Lily Patton, and he is so adorable. He's just so cute, and I want him. I want to squish his little face. I want to hug him. He's so adorable. I don't know what the others are gonna look like. I we have no idea what the others are gonna look like. We didn't expect to see Janice. Janice kind of just popped out of nowhere, and but it was really cool. We were kind of expecting to see Patton and Frogtown, so we were so happy. I was reading the comments. Everyone was so happy to see Patton. Everyone loves Patton. It's so great. It was very good. The artist who designed Patton, bravo. Thank you so much. You made a bunch of people happy. I don't know what the others are gonna look like. I don't know what roles the others are gonna have because it could literally be anything. Um, I don't think any other side is necessarily associated with an animal, which I think I'm okay with. I don't want all of them to be an animal. Janice being a snake was just a given. That was just a given. And we love Frog Patton. That is adorable. But I think and Roman is obviously the human. Um, but I'm not sure what the others are going to look like. I imagine that we're going to experience Logan in some type of library. Like he's going to be a professor of some kind. That's what I'm expecting. That's my theory for Logan. Wherever he is, whatever he looks like, I think he's going to be a professor. Um, Virgil, I have no idea what Virgil's going to look like or what his part's going to play. Um, a part of me thinks it might be really cool if he was some type of like shadow character, kind of like this like looming figure that's like in the shadows. I don't know. I have no idea what they're gonna do with Virgil, and we also have no idea what they're gonna do with Remus because that's the most interesting thing. Remus in the Sanders series is Roman's twin brother. He's like the black to Roman's white. Um, And so we're all very curious about what role Remus is going to play in the series because it's not established that Roman has any brothers or any siblings at all. He actually doesn't even know about his mom. He has no idea who his mom is. So so I don't think Roman Remus is going to be like Roman's twin. I don't think they're going to go that route. Some people have theorized the idea of just like Remus looking identical to Roman, but they're not being related and thinking that would be funny. Um, we have no idea. I think seeing Remus is going to be a very interesting situation. Um, I kind of hope that they play with the idea of Remus and Roman looking identical because I just think that'd be funny, and I really hope that Roman hates him because I would love to see that dynamic. Currently, right now, Roman doesn't really hate anyone. Roman this Roman has like no angry bone in his body. We have not seen this Roman get angry. And so I think it'd be really funny if he got really angry at Remus, because I feel like that'd be really in character for the canon Roman and Remus for this Remus to also hate for this Logan blah. God, too many names. For this Roman to hate this Remus, I think that would be um I think that'd be really funny. But yeah, now that I think about it, yeah, we've never seen Roman get angry. Oh, that's gonna be really interesting. Uh this Roman does play a little bit like Patton in the sense that he's very naive and very optimistic, which I think is very much characteristics of Patton. So I think like this Roman of Reston kind of is a mixture of Patton and Roman. I don't know. It's really hard because um Roman Sanderside's Roman is very much egotistical, very proud of himself, very loud, very broad. Um, I don't know if broad was the right word I was looking for, but um, these two Romans are definitely two different characters because Roman of Reston doesn't really act like Roman from Sandersides. Um, that is very interesting. I just thought about that right now. That's very interesting. I got sidetracked. Okay, I think for the fun of it, we're going to say that it does still look like Thomas's living room. So I'm going to have to design Thomas's living room, but Logan. Um, Thomas's living room has once again changed like it always does when he enters the sides rooms. His bookshelf is now filled with books. Um, troph- trophies and rewards lay on top of the bookshelf where that confusing painting was is now a whiteboard with the words. So this is Logan's room written on it. Um, more books are scattered around the room in neat and probably categorized how do I spell categorize? Cat or rized there we go, categorized piles. On the coffee table is no, I think I'll leave that alone. Alright. I think that's enough. I think we get the idea. Lots of books everywhere. Um yeah. The room smells like a library in Thomas's opinion. Logan appears on the couch like he was in the real world, while the others are in their spots around the room. You know, I don't think I would expect anything else out of Logan's room. Thomas muses to himself. It's so weird writing with an audience because I don't usually say all the words that I say as I'm writing them. But I feel like if I just write in silence, that would be really boring. In other news, I need to pee. So, I will be right back. Don't mind me. I was like, that's a familiar sounding name. It's supposed to be from a person from before. It's just space! Oh my god! I thought that was a different person! No, no, it's just space! You're all space! No one's real! Everyone is space! Oh, I completely forgot! I completely forgot that Kelvin Bard was a character! I murdered the characters or I murder Pacifica. I have to murder the murderer out of the murderer. What? I don't know how to process this information. Listen, when I get more subscribers, I can get more emoji spots. And then you can have all the emojis. Anyway, fuck you, Larry. No. Who dressed you? I did. Tell me what ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me what
ain't nothing but a mistake.
Tell me why
I never wanna hear you say
I want it that way.
Alright, clipping that too.
Alright, I'm back. Okay. So this is a little note for myself of what I'm trying to accomplish. Is that, alright, so they go to Logan's domain, which would probably have a negative effect on Roman, given that Roman is all about like kind of a fanciful side, so I don't think the idea of being in a room associated with logical thinking would probably do, I don't think it would do good for his creative energy. But maybe the better help him understand Logan. I'm not too sure. We'll see how it plays out, right? Because so like when Virgil left and they had to go to Virgil's room to kind of like summon him and whatnot, as that episode progressively went on, they were kind of getting focused. They were kind of taking in too much of Virgil's anxiety energy, and it was corrupting them. And it was like corrupting them and pushing their functions towards causing Thomas to panic, which was very interesting. It was a very interesting episode. So everyone was basically kind of getting worked up, and Virgil had to get them all out of his room. And then when we went to go into Patton's room, Patton immediately kind of got distracted in his own room. Um, uh, Patton's room was kind of like a big source of nostalgia for Thomas, and so Patton and Roman got distracted looking through like things from Thomas's past, and Thomas also got distracted by just kind of like looking back at the past. Um, and and Virgil was getting a lot more anxious. And I can't say that I completely understand what was going on with that situation. Logan was completely fine, besides the fact that everyone was kind of ignoring him once again. But the room didn't really seem to affect Logan in any way, in any negative or positive way. Um, he was just kind of there, and he was trying to ring the others in, but none of them were really listening to him. And then he eventually just kind of gave up on the situation and left, which gave us the line that the literal embodiment of reason had just left the room, which finally got the others to be like, "Are we sure we're doing the right thing?" Um, so that happened, and but the room was definitely having a negative effect on Virgil, and it was something about Thomas being a habitual warrior, not warrior, god damn it. Habitual warrior. Not a warrior. You know what I'm talking, warrior, like warrior. I don't even know if that's how you spell it, but that word. Something about Thomas being that was making it so Thomas thinking back on the past was just increasing his anxiety. No, that's not. That was the word I was saying that I was trying not to say. Warrior. No, god damn it, I can't do it. That's not the word I'm looking for. That's the word I keep saying, but I'm not trying to say. I'm trying to. It's like worry, but a worrier, right? It's worry, but It's like the noun version of that word. That's what I was trying to say, but it wasn't working. It wasn't working for me. Anyway, something about Thomas being that type of person when it comes to thinking about nostalgic things, um, was you know, the reason why the room was having a negative effect on Virgil. So that's why I wrote earlier in the script, or I guess in the story, that uh, Logan being in Roman's domain would have a negative effect on him, because I think the idea of Logan being the rational, logical side that he is, being in the world of fantasy, wouldn't do really well for him. I think he would kind of get lost in it. I'm not too sure exactly how it would affect Logan or the others. I feel like the not magical, imaginary energy would probably cause Virgil's, um, I think it would cause Virgil's anxieties to get worse, because it would give them more imagery, is what I'm thinking would happen to Virgil. I think Patton would probably have a great old time in Roman's domain. I don't think Patton would have too much issue being in the imagination, and I think Logan being in the imagination would kind of get him to lose sight of what's real or not, is what I'm thinking. That's my theory on what would happen if Logan was in Roman's domain for too long. Um and then for Logan's domain obviously being a source of rational thinking and logic would have a negative effect on um all of the emotional sides. I think it would hurt Patton to be there too long, given that he's the source of emotions. I think it would dim Patton's ability to emote. Um, I think it would ground Roman kind of take him away from the fantasy aspect that he thrives in. I think it would kind of neutralize Roman a bit, and I think it would also neutralize Virgil. I think with the I like to imagine that the calm energy of Logan's like rationality would help calm Virgil's anxieties, which I think would make Virgil become a little bit more chill. I imagine that that helps in some circumstances where they need to chill Virgil down. I think it could be used in a positive way. But if like Virgil stayed there way too long, then I think it might have a negative effect on him as well, in the sense that he becomes too calm in a situation. Um, so that's how I kind of that's my theory about how the other domains would affect the other sides. Um, I think it'd be really interesting to actually see Patton not emote, um, and stuff. I just think it'd be really funny. God, I want it so badly. I want it now. I want it now. Thomas, hear my plea. Please, even if it's just part one, give me something. Give me something, please. uh, I swear I'm gonna be 30 before we get to the end of the season. That's a lie. That's like that I have like how many years do I have until am I 24 or 25? How old am I? Hold on, let me think about it. How old am I? I'm 24. I'm 24. I just turned 24. So I have 6 years until I'm 30. Okay, Thomas will probably finish season 2 before 6 years. I think I'm good. I think it'll happen before I'm 30. The reason why I said 30 is because I believe that Thomas started this series when he was like 30 years old. I can't remember. I don't know how old Thomas is. How old is Thomas? Now I'm curious. Hold on, I'm looking it up. Thomas Sanders. How old are you, my boy? How old are you, my dude? He's 5'10". Dang. He's 34 years old. Okay. So he is 34. Okay. Sides hit their 5th year anniversary, I think like last year. So okay, I think it was like then that puts him around like maybe 28, 28 or 29 when he started the Side series. Um Look at my man. Look at him. Oh my gosh, look at him. Oh, look at Virgil. Oh, look at Virgil. Look at this man. Look at this little emo. Oh my god. When did this photo shoot happen? When did this one happen? I don't remember when this one happened. Though oh my goodness. God, them all being anime. The blooper reels are really funny. The blooper reels are really funny to watch. What if I hold on? Let me put in Sander sides. Let me put in Sander sides so we don't get random Thomas Andersers. We don't care about the other Sandersers. We just care about this Thomas Sanders. Oh yeah, this is the that's the thumbnail for Remus's episode. I don't know what this is. He's not orange. It's just I don't. Oh, denial, anger, bargaining, depression. Oh, I'm so distracted. Oh my gosh! Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. Oh, that's so good. Oh, I love that. Oh, the little hearts. Everyone's hearts are breaking. Patton, why are you broken? Why are you all sad? God, this art's so good. Oh, this one's also really good. Oh my gosh, look at him. Look at the man. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I love all of this. I don't know who you are, but your art is amazing. Oh, I love the colors here. Look at my boy! Why does it look like he's trying to eat a diamond? It looks like he's trying to eat this background. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I don't know what 15 stands for. The series is not 15 years old. So I don't know what that's about. Oh, the detective. Oh, the detective one. Oh, that was so good. That was a good episode. That was an episode Logan got to have fun in. We love when Logan gets to have fun. Oh, that one's a little bit small, but yeah. But oh, these are so cute. Oh, oh, this is the one. Is this the one where? Yeah, this is the episode where Logan and Roman have a fight about what's the most important thing for Thomas. Um, oh my gosh. All of these are so good. People are so talented. I wish people made me fan art. I don't know what they would make fan art of, but I really kind of wish that people made fan art for me. Oh, I would love that so much. This is all so good. I wish I was this talented. I mean, could I get to this level? Maybe if I put the work into it. It's just I don't put the work into it. We've already looked at that one. Which one's this one? I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. I don't know who that is. Oh, that's kind of cool. I don't know who this man is. Is that supposed to be Thomas? Is that Thomas in the middle? I'm not too sure. I don't know who that's supposed to be. Oh my god, I'm in love with all of this. All of this is so good. I love all of this. Crofters the musical. God, Crofters the musical is one of the episodes where Logan is the happiest. Like Logan is over the moon in that episode because one of the things that Logan loves is apparently he really, really, really likes Crofters. He really likes Crofters. Um, and Crofters is a real world um organic jelly spread. Like Crofters is a real company that makes jelly. And it's apparently Logan's favorite thing. Logan loves Crofters. It's like one of his favorite things. And so like they do an entire episode promoting the fact that Logan got his own Crofters flavor. Um and so like they do a little ad with Logan and Roman and Thomas talking about the Crofters deal that they got, and Logan got his own flavor and he literally fainted. The man literally fainted. It was it's really funny. Okay, hold on. No, actually we are watching this. Let me get through this let me make sure if you guys can actually let me check. Can you guys oop, play? Okay, I have it off because I don't want you to have to listen to the ad. But we will literally watch this right now. I swear to God, it is so good. I don't care. I don't care. I'm a good little person who doesn't use ad blockers, so I just have to sit through ads every once in a while. Okay, let me just... Oh god, it's a little loud. Hold on.
What is up, everybody? Okay, for anybody who is new
better?
out there, on this channel, we have a pretty special relationship with a certain jelly brand. Okay, look, fantasy is not my jam. My jam of choice is
Okay.
Crofters, and this
Alright,
video
we're
isn't
watching
even
this now.
sponsored. I'm just a fan. Crofters, the only jelly I would put in my belly. Well, today, I have a special announcement, and this is absolutely 100% true. That's right, we have actually officially partnered with Crofters. What? Right? Oh my gosh, Peck, yes. Right? When I first heard about it, my mouth was like a jar. I propose that we compose a ballad to celebrate the occasion. I can barely breathe. Now guys, easy. I know you two must be excited, but I don't think I can handle a musical Sandersides right after the last video. I wouldn't want to spread myself too thin, right? Like you spread jelly? Now, Thomas, I do appreciate the play on words. Truly, I do. But do not fear. It's merely a little jingle. Oh, you tricky minx. Roman, I love Crofters, but the idea of a musical ditty dedicated entirely to a partnership with them is an idea that I love possibly even more.
Okay, so a little bit also more context to that is that Logan doesn't like to sing. So like Thomas is obviously a singer, right? And so there are obviously episodes where the sides sing. Logan rhetorically does not like to sing. He tries to so a lot of the times whenever there is a song, Logan doesn't sing. He kind of just says the words in like rhythm. But that is not to say that Logan is incapable of singing. And surprisingly, Logan hits more of the higher notes of all the other sides. Like whenever they sing together, Logan actually sings a lot of the higher notes, which you'll see in this song, because this man loves Crofters that much, he will actually sing about it. Moving on.
Yay! Hit it!
It's hard to stay informed these days with news so intense. We're bombarded with grim black current events. I should drop this whole serious song pretense, 'cause this song is not about all that. We made a partnership with Crofters. We heard a roar across the border that we think came from their bear. We believe it meant to extend us an offer, for which I plan to make a jam that's just as tasty as theirs.
So let me get this straight. Good luck with that. There was no email exchange between our team and the people with Crofters Organic? No. A roar, as you described it, was heard and interpreted as a partnership offer that is believed to have been made by Crofters.
Yeah, that's usually how Logan handles songs, is that he just says them, like he does the speaking roles of the songs.
Bear mascot all the way from Ontario, Canada. Sure. That makes perfect sense.
Dreams come true, that's news to me, how wild. Blueberry, who knew that our buffoonery would bear fruit so divine? Even I don't have the vocabulary to describe what I'm feeling inside, but for me it's very unordinary. The first time you bought a jar, I remember the day in a local health foods grocery. I felt like Laura Croft or Nathan Drake, discovering a treasure once unknown to me. But the greatest thing is yet to be revealed. Guys, I cannot believe this is real.
Oh, shit! Oh my gosh, it's all gone, it's ruined. It's ruined. Oh no, it's totally fine. Okay, you guys ready? 5, 6, 7.
Guys, I cannot believe this is real.
Logan's berry? Why is it just Logan's berry? I like Crofters
literally
too.
faints.
I am going to flip my lid.
Literally.
I literally.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's so funny. Because flip my lid is a expression, right? But Logan is always literal, so he literally flipped the lid of the jar. And that's also the second time he's actually hit Thomas over the head with an object. I don't know why Logan keeps hitting Thomas with objects. The first time he hit Thomas with an object was that he threw a computer at him to prove to the others that he had no reflex skills when Virgil was gone. So he was just like, hey Thomas, think fast, and he just threw a computer at him. Obviously, in production, it was a fake laptop prop, so it didn't actually hurt. But in the context of like the story, he just threw a laptop at him, and now he's like hit Thomas over the head with a Crofter's jar lid. It's really funny. I'm so sorry.
He said, I love me a good spoonful of Crofters when we first talked about it. Play that flashback. Get out of here, anxiety, you stupid Robert Downer Jr. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm not a huge jelly guy. Oh, yikes. Should we put that in this video? Well, I am not a huge jelly guy except for Crofters. That's what makes it so special. Also, that was not the flashback I was referring to, and you know it. Is this made from actual Logan berries? No, they weren't in season. Oh. But it's blackberry and pomegranate, so that's awesome. I still love it.
Dreams come true. I'm
That's
fucked with
news
jelly.
to
See,
me.
I
How
can't
wild.
believe
You're
you're telling
telling
me
me
that
who knew
he's
that
the
I'm a
favorite
favorite
side.
side.
Even I don't have the vocabulary to describe what I'm feeling inside. But for me, it's very unordinary.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that, Roman. You guys were kind of singing over each other. Are you okay? I can't help but wonder if we, as a society, are past the days of celebrating dashing princes and acts of bravery that are edging on stupidity. What do you mean? I am not blind to the reality that Logan has steadily grown more popular than me. He's
look
a
at him.
teacher. I'm a prince.
But look at him.
But look at him now!
Look at him.
He's just so cool! In a way that I don't understand. Oh, Roman, we were really just trying to promote a jelly here. I didn't really plan on any heavy character development. I don't know. It just came up organically. Organically? Like Crofters
organic.
Another pun? Excuse me. Roman, you dunce. You made a joke and now they'll think that everything's fine. Roman? Mm? Oh, yes? Are we still doing a video? Yeah, you know that. You didn't, like, sync out or anything. You're right. Yeah, I did know that. Listen, bud.
You big dramatic doofus.
Something that might cheer you up, that hopefully Crofters won't mind me saying, is that if Logan's berries, however you say that plural, if they sell well, then maybe, no promises, but maybe you'll get your own flavor. Everybody go out there right now and buy Logan's Berry Jam. Go to logansberry.com. Please support it, please, so that I can get my own flavor. Come on, please. Maybe, guys, it's a guarantee I will get my own flavor. Nope. No, it's a maybe. It's so good, you guys. Eat it. It's so good. Say, that is a pretty flippin' finger-licking fruit spread. Oh, you like it? Like it. Like it. Like it. Like it!
This is Crofters.
This is Crofters.
We're talking Crofters.
Sweet Crofters.
I mean, this jelly might as well be gold. It's all that I opt for. 'Cause Crofters is the only jelly I put in my belly.
Go! Yes!
Only jelly in my belly. Only jelly. The only jelly I'll put in my belly.
Crofter! Are we done? We're done. Okay, so that's a yes, you like it. Oh, yeah. Oh, good. Logan, how about...
Logan
yes, it is
ate the
adequate.
entire
Now, if you'll
jar.
excuse me, I have some very important private biscuits. I mean business to attend to. Fantastic. And yes, it is official. We are actually selling these Logan's Berry jellies. Of course, this is our way to announce this. We have an actual official jelly that we're selling, and never in my wildest dreams did I think that I would be here on this day saying that. I've never been really much of a jelly lover growing up, and this is actually so good. It tastes awesome. I'm so honored. Thank you to Crofters for partnering with us. This is amazing, and you can get yours at shopthomasanders.com. I can't believe this. Enjoy, and until next time, take it easy, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Peace out. Wow, this video was jam-packed with jelly puns. Yeah, even Logan made a few. It was honestly kind of jarring. Crofters brings out something different in me. Puns are like my figurative forbidden fruit spread. Okay, there you go. He's still doing it. I don't mean to jellyfish for compliments, but I made a few good ones myself. Miss, I love jelly puns. Was that SpongeBob SquareTrousers? No, that was my Jar Jar Binks impression. I heard through the Concord grapevine that you guys were making puns. Virgil! Yeah, Patton paid me $1 to say that. Wait, Patton knows about all those puns, Logan? Very clever of you. I love it. No. Patton caught you with your hand in the jelly jar. Instead of cookie jar? Well, my efforts to be taken seriously are all now fruitless. Good one! No, I didn't mean... Patton catching Logan punning was just the Morello cherry on top. We couldn't find that one in the stores. Crofters, you're the only one who understands me.
Wherever those girls went, they brought some.
So yeah, that was the partnership. Jamtastic. Oh, I love it. That was a good one. How long were you waiting to say that? How long were you waiting? How long was that in your head for? How long did you wait to say that? Oh my gosh. I've tried Crofter's Jam. About 15 seconds. I've tried Crofter's Jam. It's okay. I'm not a big jelly person myself. I've never tried Logan's Berry because you can't literally find it in stores. Also, me getting Crofters is not something I can get very often because I don't have one of those healthy food stores near me. I just have a Food Lion and a Walmart. And maybe if I really wanted to go far out, I could get a Target. But Crofters doesn't sell in any of those stores. So I don't get Crofters too often. And every time I do, I never finish the jar because I don't eat jelly enough to finish a jar. So I kind of feel bad because it ends up just going to waste. But I am very happy for Thomas and very happy for my boy. So yeah, if you've never watched Sandersides, that's basically it. That is basically Sandersides. If you thought that was really endearing, you would like the rest of Sandersides. Because that's just Thomas's formula. It's filled with puns and jokes and references that most of them go over my head. And a lot of talking back and forth. Like there's not a lot of action because it's literally just him standing in his living room. So the dialogue has to be really good because you can't really focus on anything else, you know. But luckily, again, the dialogue is really funny and so it's very enjoyable even when they talk about some more important things. Though I will say his production of Sandersides has gotten a lot better over the years when he's had more money and more time to put into episodes. And like having like they do an entire episode that was done in an Animac, mostly because that was back during COVID and so they couldn't do it the way that they originally wanted to do it, so they got some animators to some artists to draw some animacs of that episode, which was still fun to watch. But yeah, so I like how I said we'll finish the story today. This is all I have actually written during this. That's all I've actually written. I've gotten too distracted talking about other things. But can you see why Logan is my favorite? Look at my man! Look at my little boy! I just want to squish his face. He's so good. I just want him to be happy. I think that's like the last episode Loki gets to be happy in. Every other time he just kinda gets ignored. Actually here, let me check. Let me check. Also, if you were curious, the other sides did eventually get their own Crofters flavor, and there's a separate Crofters ad for um a second Crofters ad uh for that partnership where the other sides actually do get their own flavor. So Patton, Roman, and Virgil also get their own flavor. So it's not just Loganberry, and the other flavors are obviously mixtures of other fruits. So if you don't like Loganberry, you might like the other ones. I don't remember what the other ones are, but that is a thing. The only ones we don't have are for Janice or Remus. They didn't get their own flavors. I don't know what Janice or Remus's flavor would even be. Um. Okay, so here's the completed collection. Stop. We're not watching all of it. I just need to see the order. So, the first like beginning of the seasons. Um. In the first season, the first couple of episodes are very short because Thomas didn't expect this to blow up the way that it did. I think when he makes this video, it had been just about the time that Vine had died. And so there was no longer Vine, and so he moved over to YouTube. Um, and so he moved over to YouTube, right? And I think this was just his next kind of project that he did because he brought in the characters that he had created from from the Vines. So like the Prince character, he did skits where he acted like the prince and like it was like funny little skits. That Prince character became Roman. He had a dad character who was a very irresponsible, plentiful father. He became Patton. He had a teacher character. Um, Whenever he like pretended that he was a teacher for some of the skits, and that became Logan. Virgil was actually the only one who took his start in Sandersides, and then later had a version of himself for short videos. Just that was just called Anxiety. Um, Virgil kind of went in the backwards direction of he started in Sandersides and then got a short film version, a short vid version of himself, while the others started as characters for short scripts and then became Sanderside's characters. Um, so like we said, we're not gonna watch these. Um, the Mind versus the Heart is the first time that Logan and Patton butts heads about what. Um, and then I think this is just a little skit with Patton. um, there was a Q&A that he did with the sides. So like people literally just asked questions of the sides. That was a fun one. Negative thinking was when he talks. Is obviously anxiety versus logic. So kind of talking about like, um, how anxiety kind of it not manipulates, but another word similar to that, kind of like distorts logic in a sense. So they kind of like talk about that. Um, Growing up, that was an episode about. That was an episode where they had decided that Thomas is an adult now, he needs to act like adult, and so they all kind of tried to shun Patton because Patton is very much kind of the source of Thomas's childhoodness. His like childhood behavior kind of comes from Patton, and so they were all kind of shushing Patton in this episode, and they had to figure out that there had to be a balance between, acting like an adult but still holding on to your childhood and your childness. So they kind of had to come to agreement on that. Making some changes. I don't remember what that one was exactly about. I know there's an episode where they change that they get new outfits. I can't remember if that's when that comes out. No, it's not. Um, no, that doesn't happen yet. So I don't remember what this episode's about. Then there was a blooper reel. That was just fun to watch. He did a collab with Butch Harmon. To Butch Harmon kind of made a little animated short for Thomas as Thomas imagined what it would be like if he was a cartoon. Um, I'm not gonna talk too much about it. I know there's some beef against Butch Harmon, but it's not very important in the sense for like my enjoyment of Thomas Sanders. Like Thomas Sanders loves Steven Universe, and I absolutely hate Steven Universe, but I'm not gonna hate the guy for liking Steven Universe. No Anxiety. That is the episode where Virgil finally gets accepted. And then behind the scenes Q&A, that was a Q&A for the production team, so they were asking Thomas and the others questions about the series. That was a fun one. Fitting in, they put the sides to Hogwarts classes, and that was very fun. And that's actually the episode when they update their wardrobe, so they get a new kind of an update costume change. So that was fun. Nostalgia, yeah. So moving on, part 1 and 2 is Patton's kind of part. So that's when we go to Patton's room. Thomas was dealing with a breakup, and Patton wasn't ready to move on. So they go to his room to try to like learn how to move on from the situation. Thomas did a video reacting to people cosplaying as the sides. They did a Christmas video of just like the sides singing the 12 days of Christmas, but their own version of it. Lying Be Good is the introduction of Janice, who at the time we just knew as the Seat. We didn't get Janice's name until way later. Another brute reel, that was fun. Oh, why do we get out of the bed in the morning? That's the Logic versus Passion episode. And then right after that episode is when we have the Crofters. Wow, and then right after that we have learning new things about ourselves. Wow, that's 3 Logan focused episodes in a row. I didn't realize that they happened in order like that. That's interesting. And then behind the scenes on that episode, they got an actual person, like a professional puppeteer person to come in. So in this episode, it's kind of like it plays kind of like an episode of Sesame Street. So all the sides turned into puppets and like different types of puppets. So like Patton was like a lunch bag, like a brown paper bag, and Roman was like a like full out like kind of puppet, and Virgil was just like a sock puppet, and Logan refused to become a puppet because he thought it was ridiculous, so he was labeled as like the human friend of the episode, and then Thomas was just also there. Um and but Logan does eventually become a puppet in that episode. At the very end, he decides to like try it, and he turns into this like robot puppet. So like he's a robot puppet, you know. So this was going behind the scenes on that. Embarrassing phases. So they kind of just talked about the different phases of Thomas's life. That was kind of fun. And then we got the heavy hitter, selfishness versus selflessness. That is the courtroom one where the wedding versus the callback. That's a very important one. Then we have a blooper reel, and then we get Remus, and then we have a they called it Standard Asides, so it was like supposed to be shorter episodes of Standard Sides to fill in the time between episodes. Um, so like it was a very low stakes kind of episode. Um, then we have another blooper reel. Then we go back to all right. We're back from the wedding. How did that turn out? So putting others first. So that was the Redux. And then flirting with social anxiety. That is the Animac episode. That is when we're introduced to Nico, the love interest. It's a very cute episode. The Return of the Jam is the second Crofters collaboration where the other sides get their own flavors, and so they all make their own like ad for it, which is very funny. So they all kind of put their own spin on like an advertisement for the Crofters Jam. And then we have Working Through Intrusive Thoughts, which is the one where Logan finally snaps at Remus to stop ignoring him and whatnot. So Remus was being a butt and it finally got on Logan's nerves. And then we have another blooper reel. Part 1, apparently. Did we ever get part 2 of that? I don't think we ever got part 2 of that. Thomas! Apparently there's a part 1 to the this blooper reel, and I don't... Oh, wait, no, it's right here. Okay, sorry. My mistake. It's right there. So apparently there were so many bloopers that it got put into 2 parts. And then we have the 5-year anniversary. We have that episode. And then Thomas has I think he calls him his godson. I don't remember his name. What's his name? Galvin? I think it's Galvin. He lets Galvin make his own little Sandersides short, so he it's just very cute. It's very and then this is the advertisement for the Sandersides plushies that he did with YouTube's. So Logan gets a lesson about why keeping stuffed animals is important for mental health, led by Patton, who obviously would not want to get rid of any stuffed animals. So that's that one. We finally get to hear Janice sing. We've heard all the other characters sing. We haven't heard Janice sing until this episode, which is not really much of an episode. It's just a cover of Into the Unknown from Over the Garden Wall. But it is the first time we actually get to hear Janice sing. And then this is just people write incorrect quotes and then Thomas acted them out. That was pretty funny. This is a little skit where if Sandersides was directed by Wes Anderson, apparently it's filled with references to Wes Anderson films. I haven't watched a lot of his films, so a lot of the references go over my head. But I'm sure a person who was like a fan of Wes Anderson probably caught out the references that Thomas made. This was another skit, and then this was like the this is the newest episode. Not even episode. This is the newest little short that he did, where he made a anime intro. That was pretty fun. I think if you guys are into it, and you can absolutely tell me no, do you want to watch the 5-year special? You can absolutely tell me no. It's totally fine. We don't have to keep indulging in Sandersides content. I know it's my obsession, but it doesn't mean it has to be your obsession. We don't have to watch it. I'm getting a nod, and honestly, I feel like 1-2 is the only one in chat, so you get the only votes.
Colgate Total helps stop.
We don't have to listen to the ad, though. I'm not interested in having you guys listen to the ad. Okay, here we go.
YouTube time. I've been asleep for 5 years? Wait, What if in that very first Sandersides episode, I went to sleep and never woke up? Have all my memories with the sides these past 5 years been a dream? Nah. But that'd be wild, right?
The coma theory. The fandom's Coleman theory for any series. What if it's just a dream?
What is up, everybody? We have recently rounded the corner of making these Sandersides videos for 5 years.
Real quick, when did this come out? This came out a year ago. It's been 6 years, guys. It's been 6 years now.
There's half a decade of self-examination through essentially talking to myself. And honestly, like truly honestly, scripting aside, it is really cool to see how much growth a person can achieve in that amount of time. I have worked to understand my anxiety, realized my capacity for deceit, philosophically debated selfishness while considering Machiavellian-like principles, went to the mall. Don't underplay that one. That one's really big for me. And Lord, we ate a lot of jam. Not quite sure how that played such a huge part in this series, but it did. And these talks have meant a lot to me. Like every facet of me. You know, in television, 5 years is about that time that they would make one of those really self-indulgent interviews with the cast where they'd laugh and talk about their favorite moments on and off screen. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. Wow, we sure have had some wild times, huh? And I know there are those out there that wanna know what your thoughts are on 5 years of Sandersides. It is hard to believe that it's been 5 years of these discussions, mainly due to the fact that we've only had a little over 9.5 hours on screen together, if you don't count our interactions that are not considered canonical to the core series, but even then. My point is, I don't think that we deserve.
Apparently, it would take 9 hours to watch all of the Sandersides. Just doing a 9-hour-long stream. All of it is just watching the Sandersides.
The celebration. Cheers. Happy birthday! Sandersides would be in kindergarten now. Oh my gosh, it would be going off to its first day of school, making its first friends, eating the chalk. Oh my gosh, okay, I'm making myself cry again. Oh gosh, who left this juice out? Hello, I'm Roman.
That was alcohol. Also, pay attention to Logan's wine glass throughout this, video. You'll know when you know. Just pay attention to his wine glass.
Chronically single, I'm a Gemini, and I like long duels on the beach. Roman, I'm sorry, what is this again? All right, just be sure to get the best side of this best side, right? That one's for the promos. Oh, 5 years and we're still going strong with the wordplay, right, fellas? Roman! I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm just so woefully unprepared for this. Our anniversary! Thomas's viewers amazingly graced with 5 years of me. And the others, sure. Hey, yeah, congrats, guys. 5 years of putting up with me. It has felt much longer than that. Mostly because I've had to deal with them too. But, you know, I guess all that stormy weather got us to this miserable point, huh? Can I go? Yes. Happy 5 years. 5 drama-free years. It really is astounding how these little meetings of the mind lead to clear and concise conclusions that leave everyone so happy and angst-free. Okay, Janice, I know that this is like your whole thing, but this is a positive look back on how far we've come. So your recent appearances on screen have been fun additions. Do you feel like you're gelling with the cast? Oh, yes. Let's see. There's my new bestie, Patton, who's always been so good at keeping you in check. I'm sure you'd be totally lost without a man-child who ties a cat hoodie around his neck. Jan.
Yeah, that's Janice. That's canon Janice. He's a little bit of an asshole. He's extremely sassy. Yeah, I think he kind of speaks for himself. I think this is also a good episode to pick to be able to understand everyone's actual personalities because you get to see all of them interact. And at this point, Thomas has figured out what all their personalities are, unlike in the first episode where the personalities hadn't been fleshed out. So I think this is actually a really good episode to show you guys to like fully understand these characters. Go me, I picked a great episode.
Said that, huh? Oh, that jokester. He knows how easily cold my shoulders get. Call him a colders. And Logan, you can totally see how he's your sense of reason, especially when he makes mistakes. Okay, it's just very interesting that Janice would be so quick to bring up that point when the odds of a mistake happening again are infinitesimal. Huh?
The joke there is that Logan had misused the word infinitesimal. He thought it meant really big, but it actually meant really small, and no one lets him live it down. And he's really salty about it.
Roman. You know, despite our differences, I personally see ourselves in this lovely friendship, akin to me being the Voltaire to his Rousseau. He said that about me? I don't have enough information to decide how I feel about that. And Virgil. Well, there's not much to say there. Except that I do so love the consistency of his makeup. That father mucker! Hey, check it out. I'm Roman. Get my best side, am I right? Oh, I can't believe this is how I'm finding out where your emblem is. Hey, Remus, can we sit correctly, buddy? Who says there's a correct way to sit? You ever think about that, man? Remus. Expand your fucking mind, bro. Can you just... Everybody has given their thoughts on the past 5 years of the series. Do you have any thoughts you'd like to add? He asked, knowing he'd regret it. Oh, you mean the 3 videos that I was in? Yeah, they were fine. Nothing like what's coming up. What? Oh, honey. You got a big storm coming. Soap! Sheesh! You couldn't just tell me to stop?
Sorry. Yeah, apparently it is canon that Remus is allergic to soap, and I do think it's very funny that Janice just came in with the no spoiler spray. The only way to stop Remus is clean him. Yeah, I hate... Though I was really upset about that when I realized that he was allergic to soap, I was like, you're telling me this man's only weakness is a bar of soap? I was really angry about it. I think I told Space about how it. I was like really angry about the fact that his only weakness was soap. This man could rip his own ears apart. He could do whatever he wants. It doesn't hurt him. It doesn't bother him. But soap. Soap is where he draws the line. Now thinking back on it, I think it's really funny. Little gremlin man can't handle soap.
Kill a guy for being excited, why don't you? Really? Why don't you? Okay, all right, so he was insulting me. That's just, why? I hate that guy. A favorite memory from the show? That is just so hard. There have been so many wonderful moments with everyone. Shoot, even Janice and I have been getting closer. The other day, he gave me half his sandwich. I mistook him for a garbage can. Quite a lot has changed in the past years, not only with you.
I'm sorry. Janice, how did you mistake him for a garbage can? Do you just have a Patton-sized garbage can in your room? I don't understand that. Like, I get that it's a joke, and that he's just kind of insulting Patton. How do you mistake him for a garbage can?
Learning about Janice's and Remus's existence, but also in how we conduct our day-to-day. Some examples being us generally talking to each other more respectfully and leaving behind past toxic behaviors. Of course, there's still work to be done on that front. The talking may be there, but the listening is another story. Oh, boo-hoo, the others used to be mean to each other. Do you know how bored I was before you decided to confront me? All I did was walk around and look for stuff in your head to f*** with. There was this one sick-ass room I found to hang out in called the Mind Palace. Big, echoey place. I can't believe you decided to ditch it after one episode. So wasteful. There was actually one amazing perk to not being in the spotlight for a while. Anytime they all left to deal with a stubbed emotional toe, Remus and I had the opportunity to indulge ourselves in something truly devious. Heading back to my room for a sec, guys. I forgot my pants. Get out. That's who was using my DDR? I thought it was a ghost. Oh, hell yeah, you got my nickname down there? You know, you should add Pissy to Roman so we can match. You know, like Princey. Classic. What is that? That was Remus. That mother-loving mustachioed mudbug. Excuse me a moment, I have to go healthily communicate my feelings with my brother. Oh. What? I'd say communication for me is better. Totally, 100% able to.
It is a debated thing in the community about how real the sides are, because on the one hand, it's pretty well established that the sides are just figments of Thomas's imagination, and thus they're not real. But on the other hand, Roman literally just broke a vase. So it's very confusing about where the reality and fantasy line is, unless this entire scenario is happening inside of Thomas's mind. Roman should have not have been able to break a vase because he's not real, but he broke a vase, so it's a little confusing about where that line is.
Communicate my feelings now like a champ. No problemo. The abstract stuff helped a lot though, you know, like those puppets. Yeah, surprisingly didn't hate how those were used to handle an issue. Oh yeah? Yeah. I was wondering, do you ever still... Sometimes. I couldn't find him. Might have gone back to hiding in the walls. Who broke this vase? Hey, nice callback. Don't use.
Okay, so, in an earlier episode in Can Lying Be Good, they do this like little play thing, and one of the skits that they do is someone broke a vase, and so the line was, "Who broke this vase?" And so that is why he said callback, but callback also references the big drama that they had between the movie callback and the wedding, so that's why Roman is now having a condition.
The word callback around me. But since we're on the topic of performing, one thing I'd like to see more of, songs. We need more musical numbers. As a theater man, I'm an adult man, I feel musically constipated. I mean, do you know how hard it is to talk about the last 5 years and not make a Jason Robert Brown reference? That one's for the fellow theater kids out there. The songs are fine. If you don't count the 12 Days of Christmas rewrite. Ah, yes, the songs. Grammy-winning numbers you all break into. Emphasis on the you all, because I've been absent for every single one. And I could not be more happy about that. Ask Janice about our song Lies. It was a song about lies! And I wasn't there for it! Well then, shut up. What did Virgil say about my 12 Days of Christmas rewrite? This is about the bubblegum shrimp thing, isn't it? Look, the muse doesn't always come to visit. I can't be expected to pump out metaphors and similes like some simile-making thing. See? The shrimp line was a last-minute addition, and I have no clue where it came from. Oh yeah, I whispered that to him in his sleep. I need to cool off. Switching topics, if this is our little cast special, shouldn't we talk about the newest addition to our cast? Newest addition? Thomas, I'm talking about Nico! Oh, gosh, Roman! Nah, come on, Thomas. Hey, I know that I'm getting along a little bit better with Scaramore, but he needs to let me speed things up a bit, all right? We should be on like a millionth base with Nico already. Yeah, millionth base. Okay, what is that, like space marriage officiated by Gandalf and fucking Dumbledore? That's exactly what it is. Wow, he got that like right on the money. Yeah, Nico. He seems nice. Looking forward to getting to know him. I am.
That is that is a very interesting line coming from Patton. Because Patton is the heart, right? He's literally Thomas's heart. And so it's very interesting for Patton to be having hesitation against Nico. Like, Roman is Thomas's fanful side, so he's like all in on it. But I still think it's very interesting that Patton seems to have some hesitation about this new development. And I wonder when that's going to come back into play. Because I don't know where that's coming from. I mean, it's established in the canon of the series that there was a past boyfriend, which is why, the whole episode about moving on. So I wonder if Patton is still scared of opening himself on to another person because of that bad experience. So I think that's very interesting. Um, so I'm very curious to see where that goes.
Intrigued to know what his interests may consist of. Maybe math, sports, metal miking. Sorry, Viking metal. Oh, okay. Can I be honest about something? I know we've all moved past it, but that time when we were still pretending to be straight and you all were flirting with a fake Valerie still haunts me. Well, I think that I was going for more like a sexually ambiguous. It wasn't that bad. Right? Not our most feminist moment. I've thought about it every day. Okay, well, we'll make better memories, and we'll forget about it eventually. Hopefully. Oh, if we're talking new memories, then maybe when you get a puppy, like a real puppy, that will be my favorite moment. Oh, I miss having a pet. Why does everyone care so much about what happened to Sacagawea the hamster? Folks, she's gone. She mysteriously disappeared and no one has a clue where she went. Shh. Are you implying that she's under your hat? No, I'm implying you all use your brains. She's gone. I know we've had a lot of...
I will say I don't know the hamster thing. I don't understand the context of the hamster. I know that in Can Lying Be Good, they have a scene where they talk about like how do you tell a kid that your hamster died. But that hamster was called like Sir Swilglington the Third or something. It wasn't called Sacagawea. So I don't know where the hamster's coming from. I don't know if I missed something. But I don't know where the hamster thing is coming from. But apparently, Janice just has a hamster under his hat.
A lot of successes in the past 5 years, but do you have any regrets? Do I have any regrets? Do you want me to go alphabetically or... What? Me? Regret? I have one regret. Wait, that doesn't look like Lee and Mary Lee's wedding. Did you print out a stock image? You didn't take any photos! I needed something to look upon whilst I lament! I do regret throwing that paper at Puppet Roman. It was immature of me. Oh, I also wish I'd thrown paper at Logan first. That would have been sweet. Regrets? Oh, I have a few. Like, not sharing my feelings with the others. Especially when I was sad. We could have had so many boys' nights. With ice cream! I also regret starting Logan off on that whole falsehood bit. Falsehood! Regrets?
I don't know how he made this effect, or why the heck Remus decided to drink something that he was extremely allergic to. I imagine that he probably wetted his face with water. And did he just... Is that makeup? To make it look like he has a rash? It has to be makeup, because obviously he didn't actually drink dish soap. He probably just drank water. But it's implied that it's soap from the context of earlier in the video. Remus, you freaking maniac. He's just like, I will not let this allergy stop me. Drinks all of it.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm asking you that question. My bad. Also, the boiled carrots. Gosh, one huge regret I have is a lack of attention to detail. Oh, Janice, don't be so tough on yourself. Oh, it's all right.
In Janice's first appearance, he had impersonated himself as Patton, but he used the wrong hoodie, which only the audience picked up on. The other sides didn't pick on the fact that Patton had been replaced with Deceit until like the very end. But in the comments of that episode, people have made a list of all the things that were wrong about Patton. One of them being like he's wearing the wrong hoodie. The other one being him being like I can't remember the full list, but like people had made a list of all the things that was like wrong about Patton. So yeah.
Right. I've grown. Oh, great. And lastly, achieving consciousness. That was a big one. It's amazing how much can change in 5 years. I'd like to think that I've grown. It's been nice getting to understand each other better, at least. Patton and Logan and Virgil. Virgil's come a long way. I hope he knows how much we love him. We could not function without him, as we saw. Think fast! Oh my sweet
Oh yeah, that was the computer bit. Yeah, he threw a computer at him.
Cole Sprouse! What? That really hurt. Oh, gross. I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that. I guess it's nice to know that they think they feel that way. Oh, we're like a big happy family! And I'm the dad, and Logan's the mom. Why am I the mom? What gender roles are we pushing here? I know they're probably thinking I'm like the son, but I'm not. I'll be the I know they're probably thinking I'm dad, and Logan's the mom. Why am I
Sorry, I just want to read this wine glass. Finally, a something glass that fits my something. I can't read cursive, but I'm going to assume that is a wine that says wine. So finally a wine glass that fits my is it needs? Is it weed? I don't think it's weed. Is it supposed to be needs? Is it supposed to be vodka? I don't know what that says. Does anyone needs? Okay, I'm gonna go with needs. I'm like, I can't read cursive. I wasn't taught how to read cursive.
the mom? What gender roles are we pushing here? I know they're probably thinking I'm like the son, but I'm not. I'll be the gay emo cousin. I will be the son, the hotshot, whose only dream is to be a star. I feel like I'd be a fresh out of jail uncle. And I'm the sassy aunt who talks shit about everyone. I know this is a pretty intense question to ask, but what do you think is next for us? You tell me. We seal the deal with Nico and we live happily ever after. Simple. I think things are just gonna keep getting better. Right? If we keep communicating. Probably something else I'm going to hate. Oh, who's to say? Heartbreak? Betrayal? You won't be bored, I can tell you that. And I shall be learning to better receive acceptance and praise. Wow, Remus. That actually sounds really healthy and productive. Thank you. Acceptance and praise are the names of my vibrators. Okay, and that's my cue to wrap this up. Thank you all for talking with me, guys. I seriously don't know where I'd be without you. There's not much else to say except happy 5th anniversary! Happy 5th anniversary! Cystic surgeries! What'd everyone else say? So yeah, A special might look a little something like that. A walk down memory lane, saturated with too many self-referential jokes and anecdotes that would surely ostracize any non-fan watching. But we really have gone through so many changes. I mean, heck, compare Logan's behavior at the start of the series to now. Sorry, nope. Done with the self-referential anecdotes. I guess what it's got me thinking is, how will they change in...
Yeah, so I hope I helped explain all the references that they were making. And that last one about Logan is definitely apparent. At the beginning of the series, Thomas hadn't figured out everyone's personality, so especially Patton and Logan acted very similar to each other. And when they were already dressing very similar, being the two characters with glasses, it was very hard to kind of tell them apart. And Logan eventually got the personality that we see him have like today, where he's a lot more serious and straightforward and doesn't talk about his feelings. A very neutral kind of character. That came in later down the road as Thomas figured out what he wanted from the series and what he wanted for the characters. So yeah, the series has come a long way.
In the years to come? How will they grow? How will I grow? How will any of us grow? Of course, there's no knowing how we're growing. All we can do is keep an open mind and an open heart and keep checking in with ourselves, because we still might not know if we know ourselves as well as we could. Until next time, take it easy, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Peace out.
Would you like to escape?
Okay, and then this is the advertisement for the role sling with Roman. Let's see if there's anything in the end card.
Enjoyed that trailer? Because I'm excited. I don't know why I added that, but I was excited. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. First and foremost, I gotta give a huge hand, nope, not literally, a huge round of applause to our writer's room that worked with us to make this script. You all had a huge hand in that, nope, not literally, a huge hand in the creation of the jokes and stuff that went into this particular video. If any of you are interested in joining our writer's rooms to help flesh out videos or offer jokes or any other insight, you can check that out on Roman's tier over at our Patreon, patreon.com/Thomas Sanders. It's a lot of fun. Check out anything and everything that we have to offer over there. Any of your support is hugely appreciated. Also, I am very excited to announce that we got to work with 6 incredibly talented artists to make our very first Sandersides themed calendar. It is freaking gorgeous. Get it for the year 2022 to help organize and just look at beautiful art. Thank you for everyone who had a hand in this. No, not a literal hand in this. All right, that's enough announcements. I'll let you go. Thank you again so much for every bit of support that you all have provided these past 5 years. I love you all so much. I've said goodbye enough. Bye. And that last goodbye doesn't count. Oh, there's my snack. How'd you get here?
You have become one of us.
So that's the hint to Orange coming. So yeah, it looks like after that episode, blooper reel, that's not canon. I don't know if that's canon. It's a Center Asides episode, so I think it is canon, but kind of canon. And then quotes, skit. Okay, so that episode was basically the last really canon thing that has happened in the series. And I've been waiting literally a year for the season finale. I think that will be the last episode I show you if you're interested in watching the other episodes and getting caught up in the lore of the Sandersides and learning some maybe valuable lessons that will help you better understand yourself or others who might be struggling. It's all here. It's all here on his on his YouTube channel. It's all free, you know. go watch it. And if you really like D&D, Thomas is still amazing in the D&D uh series that he did. And apparently now it's also a podcast. So you can also just listen to it as a podcast if you would rather do that. Uh, what I really like about Role Slaying with Roman, though, is that it is split up in very easily digestible chunks. So unlike other D&D like shows where like episodes are like hours long, these episodes are about like 30-45 minutes long each. And it has a bunch of visual things like art pieces that happen, animated dice rolls, cool maps to look at. So you really want to actually be able to watch it. Um and it kind of skips all the boring parts, like it's cut down, so you're not sitting there waiting like as they're like thinking about what to do. They just cut to the action. So it's a very much easy thing to watch. They do some like live action skits, so like they'll do some scenes out in the wild. So like there's like shots where Roman and Terrence uh where Thomas and Terrence are out in the real world dressed up as their characters doing like some of the scenes. So it's really fun. It's really fun to watch. If you love D&D, it's a good one. It's a good one right there. And it also kind of like Thomas is new to D&D, so he's still kind of like learning the rules as well. So you kind of get told like how things work. So any new people to D&D could probably also slowly learn how to play D&D themselves by watching Thomas play and such. But yeah, it's a whole production and it's very fun. And like I said, the Sandersides characters get to play their own little cameos, and we've seen Janice and Patton so far. I can't wait to see more of Patton though. Season 2 just started, and I don't know when the next episode comes out, but I think it's probably coming out at like the end of like the month or something. They take a bit to produce. But yeah. So that is the Sandersides. That is probably the best episode I can give you to explain what the Sandersides is. It's a lot of spoilers, but honestly, I talked about the Sandersides enough that I probably spoiled a bunch of shit. Like, hey, even saying their actual names is a spoiler because those names don't come until later. I think the order of learning people's names goes I think it goes Patton I think it goes Patton, Logan, Roman, Virgil, Remus, Janus. I think is the order that they share their names. Otherwise, at the beginning, they were just called morality, logic, creativity, or Princey, is usually what they called Roman, and anxiety, and obviously deceit. That's what we called them until we learned what their names were. And their names actually, there's actually very important reasons for their names. So Patton, so Patton is actually referenced in pathos, which is a reference to a person from like Greek mythology or something that dealt a lot with morality. So that's where Patton's name comes in. And then Logan comes from a similar source of logos, was his name, which comes from a guy that dealt a lot with logical thinking from Greek. And then Roman's name is based off of Rome and the Roman Empire, and also short for romance. So Roman has a very flexible name, but it could also be referenced to a character called um Roman and his brother Remus, um where they I think they go into odds with each other. I can't remember. Um Janus is also a reference to the like two-headed snake, something about that. Virgil's the only one where it's just because Thomas wanted a name that started with a V, though people have also stated theorized that Virgil also kind of standed for like villain Vigilant, which was not Thomas's intent, but he also liked that. So take that as you will. It's things like that Thomas is just really smart. And when he talks about like these psychological topics, he does pull out sources. That's kind of like what Logan's job is that Logan comes in with the research. So it's not just Thomas kind of like talking about feelings or whatnot. Logan's kind of main job in the series is that he brings in the real world like resources and research and studies that helps prove the points that the characters are trying to make, or uses them to debunk the points that they're making. So um you learn a lot by Logan, which is obviously just Thomas doing the research beforehand and then giving that dialogue to Logan. But so I feel a lot more assured that like Thomas isn't just talking out of his ass. Because it could be very easy for people who don't know what they're talking about to just talk out of their ass. And but knowing that Thomas puts in the research in whatever topic he's talking about, really assures me that he like knows what he's talking about. Do I think he's like an expert? Absolutely not. He's probably not an expert in the field, but just knowing that he does that extra work to make sure he's giving valuable information about the topic makes me feel better in knowing what he's like talking about. But yeah. So it is now um so it is now about to be 10 o'clock. It's been 3.5 hours, and I did say that I couldn't stay for too long, so we didn't finish the script. It's not a script; it's just a story. Sorry, uh, movie writer head. Um, so we didn't actually end up finishing the story because I decided to go on a tangent, and then decided to watch videos instead. But I really hope that was still enjoyable. um, I might just finish. I'll try to finish the story on my own time, maybe, possibly. We'll see how Pacifica feels. Um, and then if I do finish it, I'll read the rest of it just so you can know how it ends. I feel kind of bad calling this a Pokemon stream, and I literally only spent probably like 10 minutes actually doing Pokemon. Ah, boy. But it is what it is. Sometimes I kind of don't control my own actions. I mean, I do and I don't. You know how it is. Um, attention span of a butterfly or something, some nonsense like that. Um, but yeah, God, I want to meet Thomas. That would be so fun. I really wish I could meet Thomas. Um, but yeah. Oh, um, next Tuesday. What day is it? It's Thursday, right? Yeah, it's Thursday. So I might stream on Saturday. We'll see. But next Tuesday, it's so on Wednesday is me and Space's writing anniversary. We basically met that day. And so I wrote it in my calendar that that was our writing anniversary. And we decided that we wanted to do something special for that day, and we wanted to do a Q&A because obviously I spent half of my time talking about the Origin series. Um, we decided that we would do a Q&A of like just talking about that series and maybe asking questions about us in general. I don't know. I'm not shy. You could probably ask questions about me personally, and if I don't like it, I don't have to answer it. I make the rules. But essentially, we're going to do a little Q&A of the writing of Origins, and you can ask whatever you want. And we were hoping to do that on Wednesday on our anniversary, but I actually work that day, and I work like that entire day. I have the afternoon shift, and so I tend to be really tired after work. So instead, we're going to do that stream on Tuesday because that works for both of us. So you can be excited for that. we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. We could talk about the world building. We could talk about the races that we created. We could talk about the characters. The one question I got from one was what do the characters do in their free time? So whatever you want to know, we can answer it to the best of our abilities. And if we just like really hate the question or for some reason, then obviously we won't answer it. But I don't think that's gonna happen. There's not too many things I could think of off the top of my head that I'd be like, I wouldn't want to answer that. So I think we'll be fine. I don't know how long that Q&A session would go on for, but yeah, Tuesday, at some point on Tuesday, that's what we're doing. So, um, let me check to see. I don't think anyone is really streaming right now. Wait, no, I got a notification that DK was streaming. So let's see if we can rate him. That could be fun. Let me just check. Yep. Looks like Decaden is on right now. Let's go ahead and raid him. I gotta. Go back to Twitch. I like to, I had to put him up. Alright. Sweet. Okay. Raid message. Oh wait, no. I just need to do... nope, I did it wrong. There we go. Can I please just copy this? No, for some reason my copy button doesn't work here. Can I... I'm running out of time. I need to copy my raid message. There we go. Copy it. Okay. If we are ready, yep, we're going out. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!